Cool.
Over here. Get this up. What's up? Yo! All around the world. WeedPornDaily TV. What's happening, party people? They're live! Ah! Ah! Oh, please, stop throwing panties and nugs at me, please. Oh.
I want more concentrate packets.
Yeah, what? Please.
Just throw more.
I accept donations in the form of. But what's happening, party people? We're here to talk about Disney. We're
Don't
gonna
put
be
Duffy on your dirty table.
chilling with a couple of friends here today.
Oh, no. Don't stretch your shirt out.
No,
I don't want you to ruin the neck of your shirt.
no, that's fine.
But, yeah. Disneyland.
Talking Disney today. What's happening? Do you guys know who these are? We'll get into that later. If you guys know who these are, shout out. Hashtag bring gelatoni.
Yeah, we just started because we intentionally wanted to start at 9 o'clock, but it ended up being, we misplaced a file. So, thank you, because this sweater is actually his sweater from the men's section at Target.
What's happening? Gotta dress classy.
Gotta dress warm.
Mm-hmm. Talk about Paris, bro.
I just don't think we have anything to add to the Paris conversation.
Please, can you contribute some pot for Paris, please?
Pot for Paris. Honestly, some people are gonna need some serious PTSD, like medication.
Some people just need to fuck up. They need to smoke up and chill out right now because everyone's stressing out.
Yeah, it's a really stressful time for a lot of people.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Matching bears. But we went to Disney. What was it? Yesterday? The day before yesterday?
We went on Thursday.
Day before yesterday.
We went the day after Veterans Day.
Yeah.
The day after. So this was something that we had planned because we were trying to find a lull at work. And we also wanted to find a lull at Disneyland.
And it was a perfect day.
And it was the perfect day. We looked through crowd calendars and we decided that this would be the day. And we went that day. And it was so crazy because later on we found out that it just so happened to be like a few days, like it happened to be the Saturday, like the Thursday before the Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the marathon. Which we saw people already at Disneyland, going to Disneyland before the marathon. Mm-hmm. And I guess they were getting their like leg workout the day before. Keeping legs warm, keeping hustling. But so they were having that event, which was a marathon, and then they were having the Mega 64 game days on Saturday. And that was also like a really big thing. And then there was also
And the Saturday was also convention day or something?
Saturday was also a convention day. And Saturday was also the same day that they opened the Hyperspace Mountain. That was being like showcased at Disneyland.
Yeah.
That was going to be like a really, really big thing. So, yeah. But, yeah. It was a really good coincidental kind of thing. But we went. Man, that's such a pick that nug.
No, it's not. It actually broke off from another one, and I think they were just like stuck together. That's how Galaxy this nug is. Foxtail, we call it. For all you fucking weeaboos out there.
I was gonna say Japanese weeaboos,
fucking put this on your butt, and you'll look like Naruto or something. But we're smoking that today. A little bit of XJ13 and Kosher Jack.
Oh man, I'll smoke some XJ13 too.
Oh shit.
But the other kind.
The other kind. And we'll put the bears to the side.
The bears to the side.
They don't need to be exposed to this kind of stuff.
I just want them to get sticky.
True. But yeah, man, we went to Disneyland on a nice low traffic day. We had a nice B&B. That was nice. Just
We stayed for one night.
just one night. Yeah, we wanted to when we go like to these kind of trips and stuff, we like to disconnect for the day. You know, it's about being on vacation.
Immersion.
Yeah, and getting out there. You know, it's
From Austria.
killing it, bro.
Killing it. Austria, bro.
I don't even know where that is on a map.
All around the world.
Oh, yeah, all around the world.
WeedPornDaily TV.
I'm telling you. Where are my Canadians at?
I just can't wait till people like Sydney like would post like their own videos of them going all around the world and like or whatever language they speak. If it's like French or anything like that, that'd be so cool. Oh, I see the black.
Yeah.
Oh, how scary.
The kosher, what was it? Kosher Jack? It's kosher Kush crossed with Jack Herrera. So it's the kosher Kush. It was a strain actually created for the High Times Cannabis Cup, I believe, 2000 something, like late 2000, mid 2000y, and they created the strain as a joke. You know, they actually went and they bought the strain from a local grower in the area, and they wanted to prove a point that it wasn't necessarily the best grower that wins High Times. It's just happenstance or like best promotion or something. And they went and bought it from somebody, pitched it at the Cannabis Cup as Kosher Kush, and it won. I think that's the same strain. And that same strain, the grower had it blessed by a rabbi and stuff. The original grow. Obviously not the one that I'm smoking when it's like a derivative like that and crossed with something else. But apparently that strain, yeah, did get that, and there's all kinds of weird history behind that strain. Someone from San Francisco. What's up?
Tell me what the rent prices are like.
San Francisco. I was just like in my mind, San Francisco looks like Full House, like the intro to Full House with the like
Really?
the diagonal road and all the like wooden houses that are all colorful and shit, and I think of that, and then I hear about it from IGN, and they make it sound like it's terrible, like it's like you walk into like the ghetto or something. Like what was it? They were talking about
Wax in your hair.
Yeah, well, I was making wicks earlier. They were just talking about a movie or something with like homeless people, and they're like, I don't need that kind of stuff. I don't need that kind of media. I walk outside in San Francisco and I get that kind of stuff. So what's up, San Fran? The weed's good over there. Coral has good weed.
Yeah, it would be so much
Always
fun to see.
posting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, in Long Island. So it's like all the way from New York.
Long Island.
And I know like Sydney's in Michigan, and we have, all around the world. I love it so much. Can't wait to meet like a Japanese stoner and be like, "Can you be my hookup when I go to Japan?" Oh man, why on that mobile data? Man, like we need to do a partnership with T-Mobile so that people don't have to waste their mobile data while watching us on YouTube or something. Like they do with Hulu.
Like they do with Hulu.
Careful, I don't want to burn Duffy.
Oh, I'll put them back for the time being.
Just for a minute.
Ooh. So, yeah, man. I love Disneyland. I was really scared about going. I'll preface it. I've seen a lot of videos about it.
We are big fans.
We're big fans of Disney in general. So I see it all the time. I see content about Disney World. I see content about Universal Studios. I just kind of stay in that whole circle. And Disneyland always seemed underwhelming. And that's how everybody made it seem. You know, like you go to Magic Kingdom, you go to Epcot, you go to anywhere in Walt Disney World in Orlando, and then you go to Disneyland, and it just pales in comparison.
Yeah.
You know, once you see the castle at Magic Kingdom in Orlando, you're like,
Nothing can compare.
fuck, it towers, yeah.
Nothing can compare.
I don't care how many diamonds you put on it.
Yeah, I mean, you can make it look as pretty as you want, but as every video you ever see of like first time at the Disneyland like park, they go, "Oh, it's so small. Oh my god."
I mean, that
I
literally
almost
was
didn't see it.
our reaction.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't even notice it.
I had
It
to point
wasn't
it
even
out
in
to
my.
her.
It wasn't even in my eyes.
We were walking down Main Street and fucking I'm like, baby, look, it's so small, and she's like, what's so small, what? And she got on her tippy toes a little bit and some XJ13 CO2 XJ13. It makes me want to get more CO2 oils if they had a better container. Man, that smells so good. It's like fruity, sweet, like I don't even know what kind of fruit it is. It's like some kind of like mango-y papaya, like weird South American concoction.
Is this the one that you click?
Mm-hmm. Idaho.
Or does this need to be clicked?
That doesn't matter. But yeah, man, let's get into this shit. What's up? What's happening?
So first things first, we have to preface it. We took a fucking Uber to Disneyland because it was gonna cost less to take an Uber to and from like where we were staying. So we just like took a Uber right to the front.
Cause Disneyland, you gotta pay for parking.
It sucks.
You pay already. How much was a ticket?
Like $199.
A ticket was $200 basically, and that doesn't include parking. It's fucking bananas, bro. And we rather than going through the process of parking, they have like a giant parking garage with like multiple sections. I think multiple parking garages. You have to take a fucking, what is it? A tram, a trolley, like you have to, once you go to the parking lot to get to the park, you get on like a bus thing.
You get on a shuttle.
A shuttle.
You get from the parking lot to the shuttle, and then the shuttle takes you to the park, and then you have to still walk to the park.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
So we were like, fuck that.
Oh my gosh, it's 6 in the morning on a Stony Sunday. Oh my gosh.
What's up?
That's crazy. Man, up early.
Submit your weed.
Yeah.
Stoner Sunday.
Hashtag Stoner Sunday.
Tumblr, Twitter,
Tumblr,
Instagram. But yeah, fucking, we decided to Uber it. Because the parking situation is ridiculous.
It's really, well, it's just expensive, like, just doing the math.
Yeah.
Like, the idea was for us to save money, and that was the way to save money. And
it ended up being way more convenient.
And the guys were really nice. Like, both people who, like, helped us at, like, with our Uber ride, they were both very helpful. They were like, where do you want to go exactly? And I was like, I want to go to Downtown Disney. And he's like, where do you want to go? And I go, oh, I want to go to the Disneyland park. And he was like, oh, if you just want to go there, then I'll just take you to the drop-off point. And I was like, I didn't know there was one. Like, should have mentioned that. Like, I didn't know how to be personal with them. And sometimes you have to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went. And, like, first things first, we had, like, a shitty run-in with, like, the security. Or I did.
Well, I mean, first things... I guess the security is before that point. I was going to say the 3 entrances, but that's before that. Yeah, literally before you even get inside
like the
anything.
Premises.
Yeah.
Yeah, like before you enter like the Disney, like, what is it called? It's like a courtyard. And it's like a giant open courtyard to the entrances of the 2 parks. And what ended up happening was we both have these glass water bottles that are covered in like a silicone plastic.
We love silicone here.
I love silicone here. It's very like
it's the future, bro.
Yeah, it's super.
Silicone.
It's awesome. And so it's really hygienic and I love to use it, and I like drinking out of glass bottles. It tastes better because I drink a lot of water all day long and I try to stay really hydrated. And this bitch, she fucking told me no. She said, we don't accept glass even if it's covered in rubber like this, because they drop and they shatter and it becomes a risk. Yeah. And I'm like, man, if I go and I take my $200 camera and I drop my fucking camera lens like Oscar did the last time we went to fucking Disney World, literally a fucking camera lens is solid glass. Like, or at least, unless you have like a cheap one that's plastic. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it was like that. So, you know, it's just one of those kind of things that I just have a really big problem with. And I can certainly talk a lot about Walt Disney World and Frozen because we experienced Walt Disney World. We're annual pass holders at Walt Disney World.
Well, no, he's saying, like, him being cryogenically frozen.
Oh, Walt Disney being frozen?
Yeah, there's a theory that...
I don't believe it.
He's brought out once a year, and he's unfrozen so that he can, like, give guidance on the company.
I was going to say he gives, like, a little...
speech.
No. Like he holds like a 1-year meeting, and it's they go over like all the statistics with him, and then he's like, okay, are those all the statistics? Let me give you my rundown and what I think, and that's it. Is that what you're telling me? People believe that?
Yeah, like he comes out. I've had some time. Give me my cigarette. I've had some time to think.
No.
I've got a good movie idea.
About a dinosaur.
Well, I was going to say it's called Frozen. But, yeah. We
No,
went to...
Walt Disney bought Star Wars. Yeah. I wasn't allowed to take my bottle in, and she was like, she told me, she's like, if you want, you can just turn back now and you can just go take this to your car and leave it in the car, and that's it, no problem. And what ended up happening was I go, oh, I don't have a car, and she goes, well, then we're just gonna have to throw it away then. And I go, okay, just throw it away, no problem. Like, I was like, if you're not gonna give me another fucking option, I guess that's it.
Yeah, like, what is that?
And then
other
the
option
minute
then?
I end that conversation, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to look past this and I'm going to keep moving forward. Like, I'm not going to let this bring down my day, and I'm going to keep moving forward. And the minute I fucking got out of that line, zipped up my bag, and, like, moved forward, I saw, like, an Asian couple being with, like, a security guard, and the security guard was checking in their selfie stick because they weren't allowed to bring the selfie stick into the park. And so she had a little tag on it, and they're writing the name on the tag, and they were being put at the newsstand. And I was like, man, I wish they could have done that with my bottle. Yep. And it's because of the water bottle, and it's like a really expensive water bottle.
Yeah, it was a really nice one.
It was a really, really nice water bottle, and so it just kind of was upsetting to me, you know, because
like we're singing songs, we're happy, literally we're walking up, good morning, it's great to stay up late, good morning to you and you and you, you know, singing, happy. And we get past this point and we're like, fuck this fucking bitch. What? She took your fucking water bottle? Baby, you should have gone with the fucking other bitch because she was so fucking smooth.
I'm always going to go with the person that Oscar picks.
You always pick with Oscar. Oscar's choice. Oscar knows, okay? Oscar has years of experience smuggling drugs inside of places, and he can read people and look at them from a distance and see, like, okay, this security guard, he looks like he's actually taking his time to look and, like, pay attention. Oh, look at this guy. He's, like, chit-chatting, and he's, like, talking about rules and stuff. If he's talking rules, he sounds like he's serious business. I don't need this guy. Oh, look at this one. He's laughing. He's telling jokes. He's smiling. He's just kind of, like, looking, okay, whatever. That guy. That's my guy. He's not going to notice that I have a giant bag of weed inside of my bag. He's not going to, like, shuffle out this thing and open up a case and see that I have a big slab of shatter waiting to be dabbed up inside of Disneyland.
But we made it to the courtyard. Yep. We saw DCA to our left, and we saw Disneyland to our right. And one of the things that really impacted me was the fact that we had just gotten to the park, and it was already about a half an hour after opening, and it was like 9:30ish, and the park wasn't that bad. It was not that empty. It was not that bad. So,
it seemed kind of packed because of the effect of
how small the freaking park is.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the biggest things. I felt like every time I was walking around in Disneyland, I was always bumping into somebody. I felt like the minute we walked into the Disneyland courtyard, we were immediately cut off by like 2 children running. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, patience. You know, one of the things that I expected was that there's going to be a lot of people in this park and it's going to be really tight. I have to be patient. And it was just like, and I know they said, one of them said, excuse me. And I was like, good. At least like one of them did that. And I appreciated that. But I felt like I was constantly bumping into people and whatever. Oh, in Walt Disney World, when you go inside the Disneyland park, your what is it called? Your passes are on a magic band. So it's like kind of like one of those like Fitbit watch things, but it's only for like the Disneyland or Walt Disney World Resort. And you just scan the band and they take your fingerprint. And that's how you get into the park. Whereas in Disneyland, I actually had a digital ticket with me. So they were able to scan my phone. And they actually had to print me a paper ticket when they told me that I didn't need to print like a ticket. And I printed a ticket just in case my phone had a malfunction or wasn't able to pull it up.
They have to print you a ticket because that's how their system works.
Because they have
an archaic system. If you want to get a fast pass, you need to take your paper pass ticket that you came in the park with, put it in the machine, and get the fast pass. You know, or anything, you know, that's literally like how stuff works. You can't pull out your phone and have the thing scan it and get your fast pass.
Yeah, it
not
sucks.
Gonna happen.
It was terrible, yeah. But actually, we both would get serious. I get allergies from breaking up nugs and like the getting on my fingers and in my eyes. And Oscar gets really bad allergies from breaking up lots of weed when he used to roll joints, right?
Yep.
And it was terrible. It was awful.
It's literally like you're breaking up grass, dude. Like, go outside, grab some grass off of the ground, and like start breaking it up in front of your face and roll it up in a joint and then smoke it. Well, maybe not smoke it, but do everything up to that point, and you're gonna get fucking itchy eyes. You're gonna get itchy hands.
You're gonna get the oils from everything and all.
Especially breaking it up, yeah. Like, weed is like a plant like that, and it's gonna trigger like the same kind of allergies you get from ragweeds or various other similar plant familiae or whatever. I'm trying to sound fancy, but
besides that, we got the tickets, and so we're using those for the fast passes.
And they had to take our picture.
And they had to take our picture as well because they needed to associate it with us. Because in Walt Disney World, a fingerprint is more important because they have cameras everywhere. Disneyland, it's so archaic. They don't have as many, as much as they want to have. What is it called? Like facial scanning and stuff like that. It's like they need as many ways as possible to keep track of every single person every single day that goes into the park. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
so we went in, got in, printed our tickets, and immediately, walk into the...
I felt like I walked in too quickly. I felt like we walked in too quickly.
Yeah?
I think so.
It's just closer, I think, than the other one.
Yeah, there's not as much space. Well, one of the things that we didn't get to spend as much time is that somebody had a wedding proposal, right when we got in. And it was like a 20-person party, and they were all in red T-shirts. Yep. And so it was like a big unveiling of...
And we just started hearing some chanting.
And screaming. Yeah. And it was just people happy and exciting, and it's a big family event, and I totally get that.
I'm out of here.
And we were like, yeah, we got to get out of here, because these people are going to be really loud. And I was like, man, I thought they don't allow this anymore in the Disneyland parks. And I was like, I never heard that.
But yeah, we walked in, and it was very interesting just getting that initial feeling. You always walk through the threshold of Disney World or Disneyland, right?
And you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, there's like
exciting.
There's an energy. Once you pass the gate, that first, get under the train tracks and shit, and get into the square or whatever you would call it.
Well, it's like, we used to go to the Walt Disney World one, and that one is like a tunnel. Like, it's huge. Whereas this one, it was so small. It was like a tiny little walkway. And in the walkway, they had all the posters. And I said to myself, oh my God, I forgot all the parks that I wanted to see, because we had like a little map. And the little map, I was looking at it so much, I forgot to say to myself, oh man, we don't have the Alice ride in Walt Disney World. We have to go to the Alice ride, because I saw the poster, just like Jenny Lynn did.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. And same thing with Mr. Toad's. And I got really psyched. I was like, oh, I get to go on all these rides. We didn't go on
Well,
any
it
of those
was
rides.
yeah. Well, we went on. No, we didn't go on the Alice one. It was fascinating to see just the old posters though, because you go to Walt Disney World and I feel like they
They
have old
add new
posters.
posters all the time.
Yeah, but it's mixed in with a new one, so it seems fresh. But here it was all vintage. It was just like you could see
The
it was like the
misregistering on
fucking.
the Alice poster.
It was a 1970 print from like niggas like pulling that shit by hand, like it's crazy. Uh, Walked in and immediately just get immersed with that main street like feeling, man. It's always fantastic, and it was also Christmas time.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it was Christmas decorations everywhere. There was a big ass Christmas tree in the middle of the
The
square
decor
or
and
whatever.
everything,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was really
And then they
nice.
also decorated it for the diamond anniversary, so it was like kind of like a little bit more blue, and they had a little bit more silver in it, so it was kind of very nice and snowy, like themed of a tree, which was really nice.
Yep.
And they also had decorated all the windows in all of the Emporium like shop. And they have different stores, but I immediately started doing what I did with Walt Disney World. It's like I know exactly what's to my right and to like in front of me. Like I know the Hattery's on the corner, and I
Yeah.
know like the entrance to the candy shops over there.
Yep.
And like all those things, and I didn't see them. I didn't see that at all.
See what?
Like the Hattery in the corner, it was like on the wall on the side.
Mm.
It was like they had shuffled things around. And
Well, everything on Main Street was
Is
fucking different. Like, in the Main Street in Walt Disney World, the fucking bakery is on the other side, and in a different place, the ice cream parlor is on the other side, and in a different place, they have Casey's Corner. This place doesn't have Casey's Corner. Like there's just so many like subtle little differences where you're like, what? This seems
Well, it's just
wrong,
like
but looks kind of right because it's still in the theme.
well, it's like Main Street is really like thin, and they have this big courtyard in the center where they have two major restaurants, and then Walt Disney World they also have a very narrow street, but instead of trying to fit like two eateries on the sides and trying to like open it up and like having this weird awkward foot traffic problem, they decide to do it at the hub, and it allows for a little bit more open breathing
Yeah,
space.
because they have more room.
A
It's
lot more
crazy.
room.
There are just a lot of like little differences about like paths and things like it. But we'll get into that. So we walk up Main Street. We're underwhelmed by the castle, like we mentioned in the beginning
We
of the
wanted
podcast.
to take selfies in front of the partner statue and stuff like that, which was really nice. And we got to look at some of the statues that were like featured in the main square or the main little circle and stuff. I liked it.
Yeah. And we walked up. Well, we were walking up to the castle, and we were approached by the thing that is rampant and constant at Disneyland: the horses.
Oh yeah, the horses.
Just all the time, bro. There's like one there, and he's like either walking,
He's either
shitting,
or like complaining about the like mouthpiece.
yeah, looking like he's not happy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The poor horses.
Horses everywhere.
I feel bad. Like, I just wish that, like, we're at this day and age where, like, why doesn't Disney have, like, an animatronic horse? Like,
Yeah.
why don't they have something else? Like,
Well,
why-
we should mention what we're talking about. People,
Huh?
like I just said, horses.
Oh. Sorry.
That literally like there are horses on Main Street that they're like giant horses. These
These
are
are
like work
working
horses.
horses.
Yeah, they're like taller than like your shoulder is taller than my head. It's huge, like massive muscles, and they pull carts, like trolley carts of people, like fucking like 10 people, and the guy like whipping it. Caca! Like no, he doesn't whip it, but the person like on the reins, but literally like old school style, like a fucking horse pulling people. I'm like, are we not past this, dude?
And
Like, can you not see this animal not wanting to do this? Like,
And not only that, but they hold it like like classic like ranch style. So like hold the thing really high and they hold it like almost like presentation. And the horse is constantly with his neck bent. And I'm like, I get it. Like, white people think that that is, like, more elegant because the horse has this, like, nice curve to its neck. But the horse is in fucking pain. Like, why are you forcing it to do that? And why are you I know, like, it's being assisted by the cart in moving forward. But let's not make the fucking horse do this. Like, why does the horse need to be there? Get me some animatronic, like, moving thing that looks, like, realistic. Because, like, I know they can. Yeah. Or just leave it at the cars. Why do we have to bring the carriages?
They literally have cars also that
drive
people
on. That
you know,
drive.
do that.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
Just remove the horse.
Or change up, like, to have different styles of cars.
Yeah.
Make a car look like a horse. I don't know. I don't even know, bro. It's not necessary anymore. It's not. But there was a lot of different things. So we see the horse. Acknowledge the horse. There are people petting the horse. I'm like,
no.
I
have
never.
Very good experience with horses, and I don't like horse sweat.
No.
Horse sweat is too intense.
I don't need horse sweat. I don't need it to bite me because it's stressed
jeans.
out. I don't need anything in my life like that.
Yeah.
I don't need his like massive muscular leg to like come out and hoof me or some shit. I don't need anything, bro.
Yeah.
Went all around the horse and walked into the castle. And it was interesting because it was we took a couple selfies in front of the castle.
And we said like, oh man, the lighting's terrible. We'll come back later.
Yeah, it was too bright. But we walked through the castle, and immediately through the castle, in the castle they have like a display thing.
Well, like in the castle they have a giant mural, and it's like a giant like what is it called, like mosaic, and then on the other side they have a store, and then they also have like I think a restaurant, if I remember correctly, also located in the castle.
Was it?
There's a store on the left, and then I think there's an entrance to a restaurant on the right, if I remember correctly. The reason why I don't smoke flowers anymore is because flowers are like they're harsh on the lungs because of, I don't know how to explain it, for my asthma.
Chlorophylls, lipids, fucking, it's like go watch a Bubble Man video, or I don't know, like it's that concept, like, why am I eating, when I order pizza, why would I eat the pizza box and the pizza? You know, let me just eat the pizza. You know, why, when I smoke cannabis, do I have to smoke the flowers as well? Why can't I just take the oils off, which are...
What's psychoactive, like the plant matter isn't.
Exactly.
Like, that's why you don't smoke twigs. Why don't you smoke twigs? Because they're not really potent. Like, people make tea out of them because they have residual, like, THC on it. And that's about it.
That's it.
Like... No, yeah.
Like, if I take some flowers, I run them through some BHO, and I take all of the THC off of it, and the CBD, and all the cannabinoids, the resin stalks, the trichomes, and I leave you with just the flower matter. If you smoke that, you're not going to get high. It's just flower matter. It's just like, just herb.
It's like when you, it's like I see people like take a bowl and they'll take literally the entire nug and just smush it into the bowl, and then there are people that they say, no, I'm not gonna take the whole nug, I'm gonna take the stem, like the stem out of the nug and put only the leaf in the bowl. We're gonna say, no, we're gonna take the leaf out and only put the THC in the bowl, and that's what we're smoking, is only the THC essentially. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just better that way.
It's just better. It's better for asthma. Okay, go back to Disney. We go and we're like going through the entrance of the Fantasyland area, and we're first assaulted by the line for the Peter Pan ride, and we're like, whoa, I'm so good, I don't need that. And we also noticed there's an entrance to Tomorrowland, and we're like, wow. And we're like, the carousel is so close, there's no space to walk, like everything's so bottlenecked everywhere. And we make our way to the bobsleds, the toboggans, at what is it called? The Matterhorn.
The Matterhorn.
We go to the Matterhorn.
That was the first ride
our
of
first
the day.
Ride of the day, and it was a pretty easy wait time.
15 minutes, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Not bad. It was such a good wait that we went twice. and we were able to experience both sides of the Matterhorn.
Yes.
So we were able to experience the Fantasyland side and the Tomorrowland side. And the Matterhorn, if you guys don't know, it's basically a roller coaster ride that was, I think, in the original Disneyland park, or was one of the first rides to open up.
Yeah.
And they based it off of the Matterhorn Mountain somewhere in the world. I don't know geographically.
Yeah, and
where that
one of
is.
the things was it was like one of the rides that like Walt Disney has ridden.
He's ridden it. Like fucking
like the president
politicians have ridden it.
The president
from
of
all
Iraq
across the
has
world.
ridden it. Like
Yeah.
everybody has ridden
Famous
the Matterhorn.
ride. Super famous
Yeah.
ride. I was like, gotta do it. Notoriously rough. Everybody says that it's like super rough and that they need to like change the tracks and make it smoother.
We rode the Tomorrowland one, and the Tomorrowland one has recently been renovated and made smoother. And I agree that it was far smoother than the Fantasyland one.
I think we swapped them. I think
Or is
Fantasyland is the
Fantasyland
one
that's rougher?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is that what I just said? No, did I not say?
Tomorrowland was
Smoother?
You said Tomorrowland was.
Tomorrowland is smoother, I felt.
No, well,
I
think we swapped. I'm saying we swapped it. I think Fantasyland is the rougher one.
Rougher one, I agree. That's the one I think is rougher. The
A
Fantasyland
rougher one or a smoother one? I think it's a smoother one.
Yeah.
I don't know, but one of them is smoother, one of them is rougher. I don't know.
Whatever. Well, one of them was a lot rougher.
Yeah.
And
The
we
ride
enjoyed both of
itself
them.
was pretty cool.
It was scary as shit.
You go in
It was
and
really
it's dark.
dark.
It's just black. Like you get on the thing. It's like one person per cart, and you're put in like a dark tunnel, and you just start hearing like the Yeti roaring, like.
And he's like right next to your ear and stuff. And there's like a part where there's like a transparent ice wall, and he's like banging through the ice and stuff.
And you hear his stomping of his feet, doof, 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 doof. And you see his silhouette in the ice, and him roaring at you and shit. It's really good. And you're going up as that's happening, and they start jolting you around the mountain. It's very like
It's
you
very
do a
fast.
lot of circles, loops, yeah. And it's pretty fast. It's probably like 30 miles per hour. It's like feels fast, but it's not like fast like Universal rides where they're like
no, it's not. They're just
anything
it's
like
like
that.
it's a classic thrill ride. It's a
Yeah.
classic roller coaster that was like skinned with the mountain so that you didn't actually see the roller coaster.
Yeah. It was nice. So there would be some parts where you'd be in the cave, some parts where it opened up and you could see outside. I mean, a lot of the times, honestly, when you looked outside, there was
no
trees and nothing to look at.
Yeah, like
was
the
really
trees try to
disappointing.
block like the tops of buildings.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it was kind of awkward.
I was like, man, you didn't plan these views a little better? That was
Well,
disappointing.
they were just like old views. That's like a big part of it.
And there were a lot of parts where you would come into the mountain and the Yeti would be there, and you would get really close to the Yeti and he'd like be out, like roaring at you, and it was really nice. I got a lot of great footage of that. But the smooth ride was smooth, and the rough ride,
Very
holy
rough.
shit, bro, that shit, it was
I was scared the
rickety,
bong.
rickety as fuck. It was, you were just shaking the whole time. It was crazy.
It's on like the edge of the cutting board.
Yeah, so it's a little weird. Yeah, it's been like that. But it's good. I don't know. Anyway, but the Matterhorn was pretty good. Overall. Like, that would be one ride that I could easily see, like, I would go and hit that up and start my day with it, or it would be like a pick-me-up throughout the day, definitely. It's like kind of like a Space Mountain, but not really. Kind of like a Big Thunder Mountain.
But we went from the Matterhorn and then we went into Tomorrowland. And Tomorrowland was very different.
Well, immediately we left the Matterhorn, or we were in the queue, I'm not sure at which point, and we noticed a smoking spot there.
Oh,
That's
yes,
where the
it's
smoking
literally
spot
right
is.
there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are only 2 smoking spots in the entire park. Only 2. And they're at the opposite ends of the park. And it's not even like, oh, it's conveniently like they're both at the opposite ends and it's like a thin thing. No, it's like they're at opposite ends and you could be at the top part and you'd be fucked because it would be a long walk either way or at the bottom. It's like they're I don't know. They need like 4 to evenly spread it out.
Yeah.
But we were at that one. It's like between the Matterhorn and Autopia. And I could see a couple people smoking vapes and box mods. And immediately
I knew we were okay.
we were home. It was nice. It was nice. Purposely for this trip, usually I'll record a video where I'll roll like 20 joints for Disney. I'm sure you guys are familiar if you guys are fans of the channel, because that's like a lot of people's favorite video for some reason. It's crazy. One of the most highly requested video. Yeah, I just take a half ounce of weed or sometimes even an ounce of weed and I'll just roll all of it. Or like I'll leave like probably like an eighth or maybe a quarter. But yeah, just usually I do that, and this time I didn't have to do that. I did a video where I was like prepping for Disney, and I packed all of the hash oil, and I packed the edibles, and I made sure to clean the vaporizer, and that was it. Like, we were ready to go. I didn't need to roll anything. Like someone mentioned earlier, like the weed allergies. Every single Rolling for Disney video, like 5 joints in, I would start like getting the nasal drip.
Yeah.
And I would have to like blow my nose and constantly blow it. And then my eyes would get itchy. And by the end of the video, sometimes I would just have to stop because I just have to go to the bathroom and just
like wash your face.
My face and refresh myself. Mm-hmm. And I would even have to evacuate the room, put the fan on high to like get the
and like leave the space
stir
alone.
the air, and extract the air if possible. It was intense. Yeah. None of that. I packed the hash oil. Boom. No tears. Nothing.
Literally, the little packets, these little things, they fit right inside the Cloud V like carrying case. Mm-hmm. It was so convenient. It was so simple.
Yep.
Yeah. And we didn't have to worry about anything. We just had to make sure it was charged, and we had the batteries for that.
Yep. Even had a portable charger for it. But I saw that, and I was like, oh man, like, this must be so common here. I can't imagine how many people just roll in here with preloaded hash oil pens and shit like that. It must be so nice.
And you can just dispose of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what ended up happening was, did we smoke one then?
No, we saw that and we were like, we were still just like hyped.
Yeah.
You know, we were just riding that high.
We passed Nemo.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went.
Mine.
I was like, I'm good. And hey, Sydney, what's up? What's up, girl?
What up, Sydney? What up, Sydney, girl? Oh my God, it's Sydney. But yeah. Well, what were we talking about? We passed
Nemo. And then we ended up going to, what was the next part of the park that we were going to go and enjoy? Did we go eat afterward? Or no, we went to Tomorrowland and we went to Buzz Lightyear.
Yep,
we got lost first.
Yes, we went to Tomorrowland, and Tomorrowland is dramatically different than anything in Walt Disney World.
It was really confusing.
It was so foreign, and it's crazy because we love Tomorrowland. You know, it's one of my favorite parts of Walt Disney World. I could go to Walt Disney World, just go to Tomorrowland, and
just
be
hang
happy.
out.
Yeah, I could spend the whole day there. It's crazy. The music, like everything, and immediately, like you even mentioned, you were like, "Oh, you hear it, baby? You hear it?" And we could hear like the sci-fi, like futuristic music playing.
I love it though. Yeah, I love the music.
Mm-hmm.
And so what ended up happening is that we passed the new Star Wars exhibit that had just opened, that used to be the theater for the Carousel of Progress. And then we took a break. I needed a snack break, get some sugar in me. And we got to see them setting it for a special event. It was like a special like night pay for event kind of thing. And that was really weird.
Well, it was just fascinating to just see Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland was fucking. It might as well have been called Star Wars Land.
Yes.
I don't even fucking understand why they call it Tomorrowland. There was like 2 rides there, and then everything else was Star Wars. There was a Star Tours ride. There was a Star Wars movie like preview
Yeah,
event.
the movie experience.
There was the fucking like Star Wars like store that you can go to and just buy all Star Wars stuff. There was a fucking
Star Wars museum
experience.
exhibit.
There was fucking like they turned Space Mountain
Into Hyperspace Mountain.
Hyperspace Mountain for Star Wars. That just literally opened up I think yesterday or today. You guys can see videos of that online. And they just turned Space Mountain and they put all the projections of like Millennium Falcons and shit and fucking space TIE fighters and it's fucking crazy. And they put the sound effects like pew pew, like like you're going through the ride and you hear it. Star Wars everywhere, dude. Like I can't. Was it like this 5 years ago? Like I feel like
No, it wasn't.
yeah, like they really like embraced the Star Wars hard and fast here.
Well,
It's
they knew that they
fascinating.
needed to do it. Like it was all or nothing, and I think it was probably part of a deal. It was probably part of a deal that they needed to meet, and that was something that it was very apparent. And we were like, oh, we should try Star Tours because it was supposed to be like an easy thing to go to. It was way too long of a ride, wait time, and it was only like 5 minutes or something for the Astro Blasters, which was awesome. And we like walked right through.
Walk through the queue.
We walked right through the queue, and we rode the ride, and it was really satisfying.
Yeah.
It was really, really satisfying.
I feel like the Buzz Lightyear was more sophisticated, or just something like the way
it was
he was
the
presented.
target. Oh, yeah.
Literally, the one that was outside, like talking, like
Yeah?
he was like, "Welcome, Space Rangers." Like the way they had him out or something, he just felt better. Or maybe it's because the one at Walt Disney World is always broken.
I think it's the one at Walt Disney World's always broken.
That I was just so amazed that he actually functioned for once. But yeah, the ride itself was crazy. Like the difference, man. Getting to hold the blaster in your
made
hand.
such a difference.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, we didn't even have to move the cart. Like the whole point of the Astro Blaster ride, you get in a like a ride vehicle, and it takes you through essentially like a shooting gallery, and you have a gun and you point and you shoot at these little targets.
Wait, Rhonda, she lost to that other blonde chick, the one who looked frightened in her photographs. Oh my god.
Wow, I'm surprised.
That's crazy. I heard about this and I was like, oh man. Everybody's like, this match is not going to be like it's going to go by faster than you can chug a bottle of beer. And,
Well,
sorry.
confirmed she's not going to be in Smash anymore.
Oh, fuck, bro.
Sorry.
I would have loved her in Street Fighter.
It's not going to happen. But we were talking about what?
So Star Tours, Astro Blasters were actually more, I think like the way you hit the target, it hit similar to how you did laser tag. And so the targets would light up and it felt like your handle would buzz. So you could start practicing and figuring out where your cursor was, or like your little red dot.
Yeah, the point of the game is like, it's a shooting gallery and you go in and you shoot with a laser and you're racking up points by shooting shit. And you're just trying to get the high score. And like you said, like this one in particular, when you're at Walt Disney World, you shoot, and nothing happens. You have to look at your score and kind of see, oh, did it move? Okay, I did get something. You know, it's very hard to see, like, I did hit something. And here, you know, literally the gun would like shake and light up and vibrate.
And
it
you
was
could
awesome.
literally take the gun and like shoot backwards and stuff, and it would still register.
Yeah.
It was bomb as
Awesome.
shit. It was
That's how it
awesome.
should be.
It's how it should be at Walt Disney World, and sadly they can't trust foreigners with that for some reason.
I don't know.
So
Yeah. Who knows? But awesome ride. Definitely would do again. And like there was like way more differences in the theming. Like I felt like there were more aliens.
there
and
were more
stuff,
aliens.
like more emphasis on different. I don't know, like in the other one, it's just like monsters in Walt Disney World. It's just like there's a sea of monsters and you're fighting them, and it's very much like a galactic battle of you on an alien planet and you are like Buzz Lightyear shooting shit. And this one, it was more like you're in a game. Like you are
You're
in
like,
Toy
I
Story.
am so cool. Choo choo.
I am like it
yeah.
referenced a lot of carnival shit. Like it was very referential, self aware.
Aware. Fourth wall.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And when we finished, we went from that Tomorrowland to go have like a lunch, I think. And we went to Critter Country. And we don't have Critter Country in Walt Disney World. Critter Country is kind of dispersed through like Frontierland, kind of. And Critter Country is like Winnie the Pooh. And Winnie the Pooh's put in Fantasyland, I believe. Because he is kind of like a fantasy-like creature. And he's in Critter Country, and so was Splash Mountain. And we actually got to pass by the Haunted Mansion on our way there, which was very cool. And in Critter Country, we went to the Hungry Bear. Oh no, we passed by first the Sleeping Beauty Castle before we went to the Sleeping. Can they see this? Cool.
But
yeah, we went through the walking tour of oh, that's really cool. We got like everything, and we walked through the tour of the castle, and so you actually get to go walking throughout the castle in these little winding, twisting curves of hallways, and these what is it called? The books were all animated. They were like kind of like cut paper, kind of like, well, they have these painted books, which were the books that, like the painted shots that they used for, I guess, the movie, maybe, and it was so enjoyable, it was so relaxing, yeah, for like the time being, to just get away from like all the action and all of the like hustle and bustle and stuff like that. So I really like that. Let's see, the flame flickering.
yeah, like the animated segments were really well done. I really appreciated the detail. You know, it was a nice little exhibit. You know, they actually did something with the castle. We don't have this at Walt Disney World. She's stoned, yeah. Somebody got dabbed out at the party. I don't know. But some of them were really cool.
I really like them. I like the one where she turns into the dragon, or she like comes out of the flames. Where did you have that shot?
Comes out of the flame?
That one.
This
one. It's such a great shot, you guys. It just like it goes whoosh, and she just comes out and so it's very nice. And what it is that it's like projections that like are in a three-dimensional diorama, and they affect the diorama, and different things happen and affect the space, which is very nice. Very cute. Everywhere now. Leanne? Oh, the dress changes and sparkles.
The end. You hear the fairy godmother.
Yeah. But we also rode Snow White before we had lunch. Wow, we did a lot of stuff before lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we saw Snow White's Scary Adventure, and I was like, baby, look, it's something.
We don't have this.
We don't have this, and you mentioned like, oh, you know.
It's only a small wait. Let's do it.
Yeah, and you had never done it. I had never done it. It was actually in Walt Disney World, and they took it out at some point.
They took it out because they were building the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and they needed to make space for the new Beauty and the Beast castle and the new Fantasyland and all these things. So it was very nice to see like the OG ride kind of thing. Because Walt Disney World, I never actually experienced it. I was very like scared of it, and my mom never wanted to give me a scary ride. She hated me getting scared.
I mean, this was.
It's really graphic, and there's hanging skeletons.
You just walk in and see a cage that's lit red, blood red, and there are dead skeletons of a bird and a man inside. It is graphic, to say the least. And it was very interesting. We saw the little
Little
squirrels.
squirrels.
The same squirrels that are featured on this ride are featured in the Fantasyland section on random columns. And I feel like that was a homage to them having to destroy this ride. I thought that was a nice touch.
That's a really nice touch, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And so we rode the ride, and it was really enjoyable.
Yeah. It was very interesting.
Yeah, it was just really interesting to see all the old stuff.
Like, it was just super scary, too. Like, everything was fast. Everything was
It was
just,
really
like...
dramatic, really heavy lighting.
Yeah. Like, it's happy in the beginning, whatever,
Like,
and then
oh, we're having,
immediately-
like, this wonderful experience. And then, like, look, we're, like, seeing all the dark
immediately
castle.
witch. Like...
The witch is outside the house, and she's like, watching.
Yeah.
Would you like some apple?
Oh, no, we're in the mine
No,
right now.
yeah, we're in the mine. She's like, I'm gonna get rid of Snow White. And then you go through the castle, because that's part of, like, with the mining thing and all that jazz. Which is really, like, black and dull. And the vultures let you know that death is coming. And then you see the witch in the mirror. And she's like, I hate Snow White. And
With this disguise, no one will recognize me.
And she goes
oh
and...
my god, torture.
It's really...
It's really graphic.
It's graphic and it's really scary because it's just the repetitive element. Like, in this part, she has a part where she's like, oh, with this apple, I will poison her. And then, like, you're going through, and there are, like, 3 parts where she comes out and she goes,
Would you like an apple? Apple! Apple!
and she, like, offers it to you, like, more and more, and it, like, progressively gets faster. It's so scary. It's so intense.
And then they have this like moment where it's like the storm, and then she like falls to her death.
And then, boom, they live
Happy
happily ever after.
And the guy, he's like, look, that was the best part. The guy who helped us out of the ride, he goes, and look, they lived happily ever after. And little
The
coins.
end.
We saw coins everywhere.
Oh, I got plenty of bee footage. You guys don't even know. Spoiler alert, there's gonna be a lot of bee footage of random shit.
Yeah, we
You
can
guys
walk
won't
there
even
if you want.
understand why it's there.
Because Village House is literally right in front of
Such a
us.
great shot. I know it is.
But we can.
Wonderful shot.
Amy
I was
Bugs.
watching this happen from a different perspective. I actually saw the seed that I was trying to eat. But yeah, Sydney, no offense. I cried. I was like crying on the Matterhorn because it was really scary. The
Yeah.
fucking Yeti and like it breathing on you and stuff like that is really fucking scary.
Well, just the witch too.
And then now the witch
Yeah.
and the graphic nature of the skeletons and
People
the
in
blood.
Disney World, they're fucking graphic and scary. I don't understand why they're so
No,
fucked up.
Disneyland.
Disneyland, that's what yeah.
We wanted to go see the horses. There were no horses
Yeah, we
in the
went,
ranch.
We head over to the Big Thunder area. It was really cool just to see that they had a Big Thunder area. Like, I love Big Thunder Mountain in Walt Disney World, and it's a forgotten corner there. It literally, like, you go to Big Thunder Mountain in Walt Disney World, and it's a dead end. Mm-hmm. Like, you go, and
you have to
you have to
backtrack.
turn right around and go back to Splash Mountain and find your way back. It's ridiculous. Like, they couldn't loop it for some reason. And that's the only part, too. Like, Big Thunder Mountain and a smoking spot that's kind of themed like it. And really, the smoking spot's super sick because it's themed like Big Thunder Mountain. Like, you can go and you can sit on rocking chairs and you can smoke and you can play chess with your friend while you're smoking. And it's
Checkers.
It's on or checkers, yeah.
And it's on like a little crate, and it's on like the side of the river.
On the side of the river, yeah. It's like a dock, kind of wooden dock thing. Really nice, you know. So they were able to embrace the Big Thunder thing. You know, Cali people, like you said, they just love the Western cowboy like
They were
shit.
founded
like
on
literally,
it.
yeah, it's part of their history, so they have to embrace it. So there was more of that there, and it was really cool to just see like big mountain formations that look like desert, like
canyon.
mountains and canyons and shit and all that. It was nice. But apparently they had a petting zoo. And that was another thing that I'm like, man, you guys just love like this weird shit here. You guys are super progressive in Cali, but super backwards in Disneyland. It's weird. But we went
But
to
it's
the
funny
petting
and
zoo.
kitsch or something. We saw Jessie.
We saw Jessie.
Jessie was playing with bubbles.
That was another thing too. We kept seeing characters everywhere. We saw Minnie Mouse right when we walked into the park originally.
She was getting like her. No, we first saw Belle and Snow White when we
Yeah.
first walked in. Then we saw Minnie Mouse. We saw Jessie. Who else did we see? Peter Pan. We saw a lot
Yeah,
of
Peter
people.
Pan was chilling by the bathrooms, bro. I go to piss and Peter Pan's there. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? Like,
How are those green tights?
yeah.
We saw some goats.
And you know, when we went to the petting zoo, there weren't that many animals. All they had was goats and mules.
Two like mules.
And that was it.
Yeah. Whatever. But we
Petting
did
zoo.
that, and then I think we
So-
ate. Oh yeah, we saw Big Rock on our way there.
But we were making our way through Critter Country to get to the Hungry Bear restaurant, where I had previously seen it on Fresh Baked Disney's channel. Highly recommended the restaurant, and I figured it'd be a very safe bet for us.
And it was an excellent choice.
Excellent choice.
It was a
yeah.
great meal. And it was the very important meal for me personally because it set the mood for my entire day. You guys won't believe this. I saw a kitty cat while I went to go wash my hands at the bathroom. I'm a very big neat freak. So for me, I like to like wash my hands before I eat all the time if I can. And I ended up like the way it works is that you actually like you climb up like a kind of like a cabin like structure that's 2 stories to go and order your food. And you go downstairs and there's like more seating, and there's also like seating on some docks, and there's also a restroom. So I went to go wash my hands, and when I got to the bottom of the stairs, this kitty cat, and I don't even know if I can show it to them, but the kitty cat was the cutest thing in the world.
There you can show.
No, I don't even know.
So she stalked the cat around the corner.
Just enough just to see it. It was just a few seconds. Like I saw it like come out of the woman's restroom. It was like weird. It came around the corner, and the first thing I thought was, "Oh, I know where the woman's restroom is." But I thought I need to get my phone out, and it saw it, and it saw me like fuss for my phone, and it bolted. But we had good food. We had really, really good food. I am so hungry.
I'm hungry again too. It's
Oh,
crazy.
no.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
We ate a really healthy dinner.
I did, but I can eat another healthy dinner or an unhealthy dinner.
But yeah, so we had a really good meal.
Yeah, we had some chicken sandwiches. They were great, really solid. I mean, it was like a kind of like a store-bought bun. Tasted like the chicken meat from like Wendy's or something, but it was solid. You know, I mean, it didn't taste like Wendy's. It tasted a little better, but
Like a high-end Wendy's.
barely better. You know, like yeah, like high-end Wendy's. It was nice. It was
And then
nice.
we had a smoke. And we smoked on the water.
Oh yeah, we decided to hit up the other smoking spot because that would be closer. It was like basically adjacent to that place that
That
we were
restaurant, yeah.
at. So we walked and we passed by the Haunted Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to see the Haunted Mansion holiday on display and stuff. They had big pumpkins everywhere. Jack Skellington perched up and sitting and shit and fucking all this stuff. It was really cool to see actually in person. And we rolled up to the smoking spot, which was literally like I could smoke, look at the river where there was like a big boat going by and people on it, and there's like a little island and shit, or I could turn around and look
see
at
the
the Haunted
Haunted
Mansion.
Mansion.
It was a really nice smoke spot.
And you could turn around and face anybody walking by
see.
because guess what? I had a fucking vaporizer. I'm not smoking a joint. I'm fucking smoking a vaporizer.
Let me paint the picture for you guys. I walk up to the smoke spot, and the smoke spot is like a kind of like dock by the river. You know, it's like a wooden area, and there are some seats. There's like no overhang,
There's some
and there are a couple random like
I think I
barrels,
should use this one.
and they're like covered in stuff. It's just for display, and ashtrays obviously. Like, but and I immediately walk up to a barrel in the corner. I set down my Cloud V little envelope like thing. I have it somewhere on the desk. Yeah, it's a little leather case with my Cloud V, and I took it, opened it up, pulled the Cloud V out, and immediately pulled out a parchment paper from it too, because I have my little stash inside, and I pulled out some hashy hash.
Can they see us or are they seeing me?
They're seeing us too. I pulled out some hashy hash and just started scraping up a dab and putting it into the pen, and capped up the pen, started taking some hits, and that was it. I look over to my left, I see a dude with an e-cig. He's blowing circles with the e-cig, like smoke rings. A little bit later, there was a woman with a pink e-cig vaporizer, and she was with like her mom or like
Yeah, like it was like a mother-in-law or something like that.
Something
Obviously
like that.
related.
And they both had matching vaporizers.
Like globe ones.
Yeah. And they were both like hitting it.
Yeah,
So everybody was on the vape game, man. So everybody was on that same page.
So we vaped before we went to the Haunted Mansion, right? And we actually decided to wait in the queue for the Haunted Mansion. You can even see me smoking. I smoked. That's crazy. I know.
Yeah,
My
you're
amount of
Better. They don't like
really
throw us in
nervous
like the
about
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I was super
But
uncomfortable.
you got way better the second time
Yeah.
and the third time.
I
Like,
wonder
as
if
we
the
smoked
cast
more,
members
we
are just
realized
more real about it.
everybody
Like, yeah,
was
we knew.
vaping
We know
and
Walt
everybody was
smokes.
cool with it.
Like,
Nobody cared. Like, it was awesome.
He openly admitted it.
Well, it was also really windy, and what wasn't fair was that every time
Well,
he
he has a
smoked,
wine cellar
the
in
smoke
Club
would
33
blow
or
away
whatever,
from us.
which we
And every time I smoked, because I smoked after him, the smoke would blow like down, like I would be like downwind, and the smoke would blow into me. I hated that so much. But we rode on the Haunted Mansion. It was pretty fucking bomb.
Yeah, the Haunted Mansion, if you guys don't know, one of the also original rides of Disney.
Or like that, at least Disney walkthrough.
Yeah, like it's OG Disney kind of shit. Super old, but it's one of those rides where it stands the test of time. Like a lot of the illusions, a lot of the techniques that are used in the ride are still like
Enjoyable.
and they still trick you. Like
They
despite
create
having all
illusion.
this crazy technology, the simplicity of it does the job. And they every holiday
Halloween.
for Halloween through Christmas, they actually take the ride and they
Skin it.
with Nightmare Before Christmas. So you see Jack Skellington everywhere. You see everybody from
He like
the
takes
ride.
over the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And he like gives it like a little bit of a Christmassy, like Halloween-y like twist to it. And lots of skulls, lots of like black and orange and kind of spooky but kind of festive like experience. A lot of the stuff that you see from the film. And it was really nice.
It was really cool to see because I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I'll be one of those fucking posers who wears the fucking Jack Skellington hoodie from fucking
Hot
Spencer's or Hot Topic, because Hot Topic is my time. I was one of those dudes. And I love the story. I love the music. What's this? What's this? There's stores everywhere. What's this? They're puffing everywhere. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I'm seeing nugs and hash and oil and.
I must be dreaming. Wake
Yeah.
up, Oscar, this isn't
This
fair.
isn't fair. What's this? I love that shit. So this was so sick, and it's so well done. It's like just going through the queue. You could see the detail that they
It's
put in.
really
You see
like
Jack.
thorough. It's thoughtful, and that's what's really nice is that the Haunted Mansion is such an old classic ride that they couldn't do anything but do the best that they can. Like it was really high quality production in creating these skins, and that's what it should be. Like when we're bringing like new to the old, it should be spectacular. It should be flawless, and this was pretty flawless if you ask me. Well handled.
Yeah, the decorations were super on point outside, and then you get inside, and it's breathtaking.
You get to walk the grounds.
Yeah, and the difference between Disneyland and Walt Disney World is
Walt Disney World, you go under the house.
yeah, you like walk into this weird like tunnel thing, and they take you like almost directly into the house. It's very fast how it happens,
very
and a lot of the queue is like outside, if anything. So this one, you actually walk the grounds. You go into the grounds, you walk through the entire yard, into the side yard, and then up onto the front porch of the house, into the front door. It was pretty cool to like be that like close and intimate with it. It was nice.
And they completely skinned the interior story. It was spectacular. That is exactly how it should have been.
Yeah.
It was flawless. Like there was no complaints from me whatsoever. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, you walk in, and you know normally the ride like it's a story like is this room actually moving? And they're just trying to scare you and stuff. But immediately you walk in and you start hearing the music.
And then you see these classic Christmas like paintings turn into these like twisted like Hello Story kind of horror.
And a narrator's taking you through the entire event, and he's giving you that voice like, Jack was a lovely fellow who loved Christmas, and every year he would come to Christmas Town and do this thing. You know, and it was excellent. You know, it was like completely immersive, completely like it completely reformatted the ride. It was a completely new ride at that point, despite it being the same structure.
Yeah.
Loved everything. The
Flawless.
paintings were awesome. There were like paintings that are in the stretchy room that were nice, and then there was also the paintings that change.
There were like paintings that in the Walt Disney World version, they're like as you're setting up to go on the ride, you're kind of just going through the like one of the hallways in the house, and they have paintings that change with the lightning. And what was nice is that not only did the paintings change with the lightning, you also had Zero, and Zero would occasionally fly through some of the paintings and stuff like that. And it was kind of like a special little like eye-catching thing that like you could see the same thing over and over, but all of a sudden, oh, Zero appeared. Oh, Zero's manipulating like the paintings and stuff, and that was really nice. I like seeing Zero inside of the paintings, and this was so big.
It was crazy just going around the corner. Like you leave the elevator of the ride, you're walking through this very dark, very tight hallway with these paintings on the wall. There's lightning on one side of you flashing, paintings on the other side. And you finally turn the corner, and you start to see this fluorescent, like
Glow in the
bright,
dark,
blacklit,
blacklit,
just beautiful mural that's been placed over like the back wall that's normally there of the ride, and you see all of the characters from the story in the mural, and all like alive. They're all moving. They're all like.
It's the entire movie, which is super cool. I love that. Like it's all very like patiently done and very vibrant and alive. So, and obviously lots of chandeliers. And
You know, it says Merry Christmas. You can see Dr. Finkelstein there. You can see the mayor. His head actually turns and goes from angry to sad, or angry
Sad to happy.
or whatever. Sad to happy. The clown removing his head. Like it's
like
all
characters that you've seen in the movie that you know who they are. Like I saw every single person, and I was like, I remember their voice. I remember who they are and what they were doing. It was very nice.
Citizens of Halloween. What was it? Halloween Town?
I think so. Yeah.
I get that confused with the Halloween Town movie.
Oh.
But you get on the ride, and immediately the first gag of the thing, of the ride is always a hallway where you can't see immediately what's in the hallway, but there's a mirror at the end of it, and it shows you the reflection of the hallway, and in the reflection you can see what's actually there.
And it's a ghost, and now it's Zero.
And now it's Zero and the ghost. pile of bones for Zero too because it was Christmas. They had
Play it out.
Christmas the singing plants were really cool. There was a bouquet of these like piranha things, yeah, and they had these teeth, and they were just singing like
yeah. And it was, and they were throughout the whole hallway scene. They also reskinned like, oh, I love that. That was so nice.
yeah, there was a giant wreath at one point with teeth, and it was above you, and it was just so massive, and they had these like giant like wreath-like arms that came out, and it just looked like it was just gonna come out and grab you. So nice. The Madame Leota room. Normally she's in there,
Calling the spirits
calling
from beyond.
the spirits from beyond, come to me. But this
Ring a
time,
bell and all this stuff, yeah.
no, she was like fucking
Christmas tarot card reading.
Yeah, it was fascinating, and all the tarot cards were Nightmare Before Christmas characters.
And they were all themed and stuff like that. It was really nice, and I wish they had emphasized it more. It was a spectacular ride. It was gorgeous. The illustrations in the card were so beautiful. But it was nice to see that they had updated the Haunted Mansion ride, just as they had done in Walt Disney World, with the TV screens showing the floating cards and stuff. So it was nice that it was up to date setup. Wait, we didn't see the big room. We didn't film the big room.
I guess the second time I did.
Oh, right. But yeah, it was a great.
Yeah, eventually we get to Oogie Boogie, and he has like a roulette thing that
He
is
decides
going,
what happens to you.
And just him, like, he just looks so great.
He looks so real.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's also his character, too. It lends itself. We were like gingerbread cookies or something.
Yeah, the last gag of the Haunted Mansion is you're taken and shown this mirror with your cart, and they're like,
ghosts are taking
oh,
over.
yeah, a ghost is going to go home with you. And in this particular version, Oogie Boogie gives you like a scary present to take home with you. Another very nice one. Oh, and the best thing, I loved it. In the Walt Disney World version, there's like a small...
She's a woman, and she follows you through the ride.
Yeah. Like the point of the Haunted Mansion in Walt Disney World and the story behind it is that there's basically a, what do you call it? When it's
The mining
the
tycoon?
dead... Yeah.
The widow.
The widow of a mining tycoon dude.
And she kills like a bunch of men.
Yeah. And that's like the story. So you see her with like an axe.
And she follows
It's very
you.
graphic, yeah. And at the end of the ride, you see her and she goes, "Hurry back." And it's very nice.
Creepy.
Yeah,
It's
very
awesome.
creepy. So they got that with Sally, and she sits there and she
She's like, hurry back, Santa Claus.
yeah, hurry back soon. Come back soon. I'm gonna wait till I open my presents. It was great. Like just hearing Sally saying that. Ooh, gave me different kind of chills.
Yeah.
So we went from there to Indiana Jones.
Great thrilling ride.
We had to hit it. It was like we're going from like awesome to awesome. It was nice.
And it was a decent wait, not too horrible. It was like 30 minutes.
35 minutes. It really was 35 minutes.
It was a full 35 minutes.
When they say 35 minutes. But this one basically the Indiana Jones ride. If you guys are familiar with Epcot, Animal Kingdom, it's basically the dinosaur ride, but reskinned with Indiana Jones.
And really thorough.
It's not fair to say that it's reskinned. It's literally just using the same ride vehicle and ride technology. Like the ride vehicle, it's like this ATV thing, and they can control it where
off-roading.
yeah, like it
Hydraulics.
tilts. Yeah, it has very specific like
Oh yeah.
oh my god. It's a low rider. Yeah, it's that shit. So You can. It's constantly like jolting and moving, and it feels like a
you
car.
feel like you're driving a car and you're like freaking out.
It has good brakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very jolty and very exhilarating. So that ride vehicle was awesome in Dinosaurs, and that's one of my favorite rides, like in Walt Disney World. Period. Let alone Animal Kingdom. So it was nice to see their iteration over here.
Have you?
The walkthrough was really nice too, thorough. Really well themed. They had like props from the movie. You guys
really nice.
can watch Justin Scard on YouTube. And hello, you can see Justin Scard on YouTube, and he talks about one of the trucks outside, and he breaks it down how there are even like little golf balls on the car
Because it was like something from the movie that they had to rig up on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like crazy stuff. Like it was crazy to see that kind of stuff. They had snakes everywhere.
Seeing it live.
Snake sculptures. Very tropically themed. The only thing that I didn't like was that it was adjacent to the Tarzan's treehouse. So you were getting all the noises from Tarzan's treehouse. So there was like an elephant, a tiger, like some random animal noises on repeat every like 2 minutes. Yeah, it was terrible. But it was cool to see. I mean, it was awesome. They had like a big temple that you walk into, and you walk through the temple a little bit.
I thought it was a nice themed area for like what it was. I was very sad that people would like marcate the.
It was
plants.
really shitty. Yeah, people literally. There's bamboo in the walkthrough, the queue, and people were carving into it and carving their names graffiti style.
And the ride is so large that there's a huge there's a queue to get into another queue essentially, and the secondary queue that's inside the temple is beautiful. It's so cool.
Well, it was also very tight.
Oh yeah,
And
we
a
had to
lot
walk
of
in a
places,
single file line.
I don't know. Like some of it was really packed inside. And there was a nice little movie right before the ride.
You have to imagine on a full day that whole thing. People
Oh
are
yeah.
standing there.
No, yeah, it's like the Great Movie Ride where like people just stand and watch the movie for a little bit.
No, like that long hallways, like hallways and hallways that we had to fill through, like on a full day. You know how we were like, we were in that outline queue? That outline queue would be the end of the queue, where the real queue is actually inside that really long
No,
queue.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like the Great Movie Ride where if it's a long queue, they have a giant room where they have the movie theater and you just sit in there and you watch the movie. But when it's a slow day, you just gotta walk through. Yeah, like they had a nice little movie and it was classically themed. Yeah, tongue-in-cheek is a good way of putting it. We're about to go on a great adventure, explorers. Please put on your fancy seat belt mechanisms and then take heed. Do not look at the idol. Please, Indy. Short round. Taking No. The queue was beautiful. Like there were some parts that were just picturesque. It captured the feel of like a Tomb Raider fucking
I thought that was an action star or something.
Yeah, like I could have been Lara Croft in that moment, and I could have had some bomb ass short shorts, and I could have been climbing on some like awesome rocks, and it would have been
rock
epic.
Climbing?
Yeah. But the ride itself was sick, man. You get on the ride vehicle. I described it. Very jolty, very dark. But you're riding through like it almost feels like a Zelda level to me.
Yeah, it does.
It's like you just see like. It's a temple of the snake, so you see like a lot of snake stuff, but the way the rooms are laid out, like you drive through and you can like see other people on the ride at different parts of the ride. So you're seeing them go through stuff, and then you're also seeing different parts of the ride, like like portions of the room, and it creates like this big space. Like you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna go over there then, and I'm gonna go over here. Like it's kind of like a big Zelda level where they walk into the dungeon, and they like do that camera pan, and they show you like, oh, this is good. This platform over here is sick. There's this shit over here. Like they literally had like this big like mouth of fire that like breathed out, and it took me right back to this one Zelda game I played where there was like this big head, and it would like open up, and you would have to jump onto the head and climb into the mouth and shit.
Really?
And right across from it was a bridge, and you could see the mouth from the bridge, and at one point, like it was like the exact same layout. It was crazy. And then there were a lot of little different cool techniques, like the fucking like projections of bugs on the wall. Lots of cool stuff. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
But it was really interesting because what it was somebody took a whole set and they really created a full multifocal experience.
Yes.
And I really appreciated how thorough it was. Like every viewpoint was like thought about. So I really enjoyed that. And then
awesome.
yeah, they were really good, really cheesy, but you know, still satisfying, enjoyable. We had a snack. Where did we go after snack time? We walked to Roger Rabbit.
We ran into the marching band.
Oh, the Star Wars marching band.
And they were doing, actually, I think they were doing Indiana Jones.
I thought it was the Imperial March.
Was it the Imperial March?
Yeah, because we heard them play it a second time. Which was still really nice.
Yeah.
Where are we?
I fucked up and I clicked and it went like down.
Okay.
So
So
we passed by It's a Small World and we're like, oh, let's go to, let's check out It's a Small World's queue.
and see how long the wait.
And we turn and we see that it was just crazy.
It was insanity.
Yeah. And we were like, nah, we're good. We're going to go to Toon Town.
Yeah, and we're gonna go ride Roger Rabbit, which was like they were like saying, oh, it's like 25 minutes or something like that. It was cool because right as we walked into Mickey's Toontown, my Fitbit was like we hit 10K.
10,000 steps.
Right then and there. That felt kind of cool. So that was nice. And we went in and we actually climbed up a steep as fuck hill.
Yep.
Like you could tell that this was built like out of like a fucking little mountain, and they cut Tomorrowland out of it. And we walked over to the Roger Rabbit section, and it was very like cute. All the buildings were nice.
Mickey and Minnie's house and all the buildings around
You
Mickey
can
and
like
Minnie's house?
everything's like
They didn't look like
interactive,
this cool.
so you can go and like play with the buildings, and you can play with like bombs and like blow up parts of the buildings and stuff like that. And so that was all cool. And I love Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit is probably one of the most inspirational movies for me as a young child. I used to watch that movie and be like, man, like I remember like seeing it and understanding how they made the movie by just watching it. And it was just so enjoyable.
Come on, Eddie. Please. Please.
So good.
It was a
And
great movie.
It was a great movie on so many levels, and all the acting, and like Donald Duck and Daffy Duck like playing the piano together, and it was just so exhilarating and stuff like
Who
that.
didn't pop a boner to Jessica Rabbit? She was the most seductive cartoon of all time. Like, she broke the boundary where it was like, she's so sexy, I would fuck this cartoon. Like, it started to give people that kind of idea. Like wow.
Cartoons can be sexy.
Yeah, like, it's possible. Like, they can break that boundary. And what is it recently for this Halloween?
Oh, right. I told you. Heidi Klum, she's known for every single, like, Halloween. Can we look it up? Because it's spectacular. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
I put Halloween costume, Jessica Rabbit. She did, like, a full body cast. You should look up, like, an article where they show, like, her getting her body, like, casted for it. No, that's not it. That's it. This is it. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that look super fake, but it's super real? Like they made gloves out of her arms. Doesn't that look like really insane? That like
Kind of. It almost just looks scary.
it looks scary, but you're like, that's what she would look like. That is what Jessica Rabbit would look like if in reality.
Yeah.
You know, the eyebrow arch, the way her hair parts, the way she has this really weird receded hairline. You know, the way her boobs stand up by themselves. Real boobs don't do that, I'm telling you.
That crazy bust, yeah.
Yeah, she did a crazy job.
That
Those
woman.
artists, yeah, that lady right there. She's like,
Same
yeah,
person.
I love Halloween.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really freaking scary. But she loves Halloween, and you know, like all the power to her. If she can afford to get really well-made costumes made, I mean, why not? I would love to get that done. I mean, not necessarily Jessica Rabbit. I don't have the need to dress like this, but like the ability to spend money on like really nice like somebody to do your makeup, somebody to do your hair, like all these things, like so crazy.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way. I'm just made up that way by people with the face off.
Yeah, like that's really scary.
Fucking-
Oh,
The
scary.
Flash does not do it justice. Like this, she needs to be in a photo shoot where it's like
It's
natural
really
lighting.
poison. Well, like, can you go like to the web search and like can we look at an actual article? Because they have an article and they like actually talk about like all that stuff.
I mean, the articles are just gonna be the same pictures we're seeing.
No, they have like shots of her when she's getting it made, and I think these are like her Instagram shots. If this is it, yeah, like they're applying it, and they're like gluing it to her skin and stuff. Isn't that scary?
That's crazy.
And did they videotape it?
What?
No, at the bottom. Or no, that's like just some. That's a trash video. But yeah, that's her getting her butt glued on. Oh my god, so crazy,
Scary.
so crazy. Look at that, it's so scary. Normal Halloween costumes, Heidi Klum's Halloween costume. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I know what Sydney's talking about. Kovu from the Lion King 2.
Yeah.
That like turned so many chicks on. It was like
Really?
unbelievable.
Really?
It was like he was supposed to be like the bastard son of Scar or something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, the dark lion.
He was like the dark colored lion or
Angsty
something.
lion.
Angsty
The
lion.
Hot Topic lion.
The lion that looked like he was wearing like eyeshadow
Eyeshadow
and stuff.
and yeah. It looks like an eye scar, but it's really just eyeshadow, and it's just I use mascara. What's up?
I'm connected with myself. Yeah, no.
I have emotions. My dad's name is Scar.
But we rode the ride. It was really fun. You sit inside, like the queue is amazing. The queue is hilarious. It's a bunch of jokes, and they make fun of the what is it called? The California laws and stuff like that. So all the license plates you're gonna see on the walls are gonna be like jokes about like Aristocats, 101 Dalmatians, Zippity Doodah, Captain Hook,
Fantasy.
yeah, Little Mermaid,
Aristocats.
all those things. And then we saw lots of cute little signs, lots of cute little things like that. It was so well themed. Oh yeah, you can just keep going.
This and you just.
Yeah, and the alleyways were really nice. Like I felt like I was in the movie with all the really like strong lighting, all the really like heavy detailing and stuff like that. So that was really really nice. And you got to hear parts of the story through windows. So that was like a main way to like convey information behind the scenes in the movie, and they incorporated in
The ride's queue was cramped. It had like a lot of cartoony buildings and stuff, but as much as it had like theming of like cartoony buildings and you kind of felt like you were in like cartoon alleyways, it just was boring. You know, there were like one or two doors that were like animated and like had like cartoon characters like talking behind them and stuff, and that was it. Like you were just like walking through this like alley, and it was dark and like dreary and
it was just hard to be in like colored light. Like I don't know about you, but after a while, like sitting in blue light is really hard.
or green light, or like there were just so many like heavy colored lights. And I mean, there was one part that was really cool. They opened up like this like jail cell thing, and it looked like you could see through the jail cell into, or was it a jail cell? It was something like, it was like holes in the wall.
Like you could see holes in the wall towards like
the actual ride.
Yeah.
And you can see the ride like going through it, and like
it was like
parts of
through
the
a
ride.
door. Like a door had like a hole in the door or something like that.
It was cool. Like that I appreciated, but there wasn't enough of that. It was just boring.
Yeah.
So we got to the ride finally. It took a while.
It was a
man.
full 25 minutes.
Oh yeah, and it felt like a long 25 minutes in that queue, man.
Yeah.
All
I
the
tried
other
to be
queues
engaged.
were way more enjoyable.
Yeah. But we went through, and you ride on a little car. You ride on Lenny, the taxi guy, and he it was just like all really hard to like stay in that lighting and stuff like that all the time. And the car was really hard to control. Everybody's like, yeah, you get to control the car, and it's wacky and fun and stuff like that. I thought that was really funny. I was like, how does that not say 420? Like, they were so close. Like, if I was the engineer that designed that, I would have put the 0.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone for it, you know? But the car was really hard to control. And I didn't like that about it. Because I wanted to, like, enjoy the ride, and you can't just enjoy the ride.
And the ride itself, like, it's great. Like,
It's beautiful.
It's beautifully rendered. You know, they have a lot of mirrors, so it creates this really cool illusion of like more
Fun
space
house.
and fun housey. It replicates a lot of the shapes and stuff. Really cool.
Mesmerizing.
But it's
It was a really rough ride. Like, it was a lot of work to get to see everything. And I shouldn't have had to struggle like that.
yeah, definitely.
But, I'll have to say, Sydney, the Harry Potter land, I went to the original one, and absolutely wonderful. Amazing. I've gone like 3 times. Every time I've enjoyed it significantly. Harry Potter World's amazing. And I just can't wait to go to the new land. But, we went through the Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit was super fun. We, enjoyed it a lot.
Please remain seated.
And we left the ride, and there was all these like little gags and things in the street. I think we did a little shopping. Oh, we had a smoke break. Yeah, took some time off.
The Cloud V died.
Yeah, he had to actually charge the Cloud V. So this was some. Yeah, we started off like wanting to try to take a hit, and we were like, okay, this is gonna have to charge for like 20 minutes. And so I said, we're gonna go shopping.
Well, I put a glob in.
Oh, and it overheated it.
Well, yeah. Like, I put a glob in it of some Girl Scout cookies, and you could just see it struggling, bro. Like, the Cloud V vaporizer has a little window that you can see, like, the smoke build up. And you looked inside, and you would just see the hash bubble up and like, become a giant bubble and burst, and then slowly drip down. Like, it just couldn't get enough heat because it was dying. It was terrible. So I had to sit for 20 minutes, man, holding the Cloud V in my hand with a battery, letting it charge. It was terrible. But that's what happens, bro, when you smoke too hard, man. I had that thing fully charged, and I just smoked that much out of it.
But we went back to the street. I got to meet Shelly May and I That's a top.
It's crazy too because once you got her,
From patterns. So
everybody
some have more stuff.
like talked about her. Like every time we would pass by somebody, I would hear them say, "She's got Shelly May. Did you see? That girl has Shelly May. That girl has Shelly May." Like everybody was noticing. I don't think you noticed how many people noticed you. It's crazy. Yeah.
I was really happy we got her.
Yeah.
I was like super excited.
It was nice. You talked to somebody about it, and she was just released like a week ago.
Yeah, it was something that, like, we had heard about Duffy going away at Walt Disney World. And I was like, well, they're pulling the plug. Like, I guess this is it. And, like, oh, well. And then they went on to say, oh, yeah, we're gonna bring back Duffy to whatever it's called. Sorry.
From patterns. So some have more stuff.
We're gonna bring her back to, like, the main, what is it called? Like, the main part of, what is it that the toy store? What is is it World of Disney, the game one?
Yeah.
With all the toys and stuff like that? Yeah. And she got like a whole showcase in Walt Disney World, and they welcomed Shelly May to Walt Disney World. And what ended up happening was Disneyland didn't get her until like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And this is just one of those like first shipment kind of things. And it was a big deal. I didn't know this. I was just so happy. Yeah. To like get her. And I was just amazed. Like when I was looking at her in the stores all have these yellow lights because they're all these old stores. And like we ended up like showing her on the camera. She's like bright pink in comparison to Duffy. But it was really orangey in comparison to her. She's like really pinkish. So.
Watching your live stream and you and Mrs. WeedPornDaily are adorable.
Who is that?
I wanted to draw something. I think she even tagged us in a drawing.
Who?
Amanda Chu.
Oh. But yeah, and so we got Shelly May, and then we also got a license plate cover because we really wanted a license plate cover. I really was thinking about getting Thumper at the beginning before I saw Shelly May, but I didn't like Thumper's like stupid expression.
So beautiful.
Yeah, he's like, ah. So, and not my cup of tea. I was like, if he just looked happy. But yeah, that was 60th anniversary Duffy. I just wish Duffy had like a cute 60th anniversary outfit, and he did.
You can ask
like a
them.
little
We
suit.
have to keep looking.
And I love the shirt.
Yeah.
I just don't
let's
think I
go
could
to
have
a
pulled off the
postcard,
shirt. It wouldn't
like
look
spot
good
where they have all the.
And it was just so heavy with color.
They had a good range of stuff in the store. You know, we're veterans of Walt Disney World and we've seen all the stores many times. I document a lot of the stuff because it's very inspirational just to pull from that to work on the Stone Disney designs that I do. You know, like it's just all inspiration for me. We're constantly going through all the stores, looking at all the clothing, everything. We know when they release a new line of clothing because we've seen, like, we noticed a change and shit. So going here, you know, I was almost expecting to just see a carbon copy of all the stuff we've seen in Disney World, but it was not the case. And we saw a lot of exclusive stuff, particularly due to the Diamond celebration. There was a lot of 60th anniversary memorabilia and specialty prints and t-shirts and things commemorating that event. What was I getting with that? They just had a lot of
I don't think you recorded it
a lot of good shit. You know, it was a lot of different stuff, and it was nice to see a diversification of these stuff, and that they don't just like ship both like coasts at the same time.
We got like I wanted to have like a poster or like a little painting or something like that, but they didn't have anything. So we're gonna make a puzzle, and the puzzle is gonna be like glued together. We're gonna have that, so that's gonna be really nice.
It's my second channel.
Oh, we went to go deliver the stuff so that we would have it safe. We ran into fucking.
Let's talk about that for a minute too. How efficient is Walt Disney World? We can purchase something in Walt Disney World and be like, oh, can we get this shipped to our hotel room? And they'll be like, absolutely. And they'll package it up. A person will come out of a door in like out of nowhere, grab the package,
and walk away.
Disappear into that door, and your package will disappear, and you won't know what happened to it. And then you wake up the next morning, and it's
you get a phone call, and they say your package is ready whenever you are.
No, actually, no. I'm sorry. I take that back. You go home to your hotel after a long day at the park, and it's sitting waiting for you on your hotel bed.
Yeah,
that's fucking
true.
Efficient.
They can do it on Walt Disney
That
World.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, Disneyland. We bought some shit, and they were like, "Oh,
you have to walk it up
to the front of the park, not the front of the park, like literally like
you
almost
have to
leaving the park, and go there and check it in, and that's where it is. Or you can put it inside of a locker."
I was like, I guess.
Like, damn, bro, get your shit together.
Like, you can't have runners or something like that. Like, give some people some jobs. Create a better system because it's inefficient this way.
But it was really cool.
The pin is really nice.
We were just walking back up into Main Street. We were like, oh, let's just go through some stores. I think I wanted to get Starbucks or something.
And the Starbucks line is no good.
Yeah.
This is where the diamond
but
stuff
we were
is.
walking up Main Street immediately. The whole day, we were keeping our eyes peeled for celebrities. We knew that, we're in California, we hear it all the time, there are a lot of like famous YouTubers that go to Disneyland, and there are just celebs that go all the time too. Or media presences that we follow, just a lot of people that we would recognize. So we were keeping our eyes peeled the whole day. And
you saw one of them in the morning.
And I saw one of them in the morning. And that one, I couldn't confirm until later, so it was kind of like iffy. But this one was confirmed, absolutely. I saw him, and he was even wearing a T-shirt with the company logo on it. It was really nice. And I saw him, and I like pulled you aside, and I was like, "Baby!"
And he gripped me so hard on the shoulder.
Because I gripped her, and she just kept walking, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta like grip her and like pull her because she's not gonna like stop moving." So I gripped her, pulled her, and I was like, "Baby, look, it's Michael Bowling from the Diz Unplugged podcast."
And I was like, what? Oh. Because the first thing happened when you pulled me around and you turned me around, all I thought was, is Justin scarred here? Like, I saw a guy and he had the same sweater
Immediately
as him.
you started like looking for that in the crowd.
Yeah.
But instead we saw Michael and you were like, "Oh, let's go talk to him." And you ran over and I followed you and you were like, "Hey, Michael, we're really big fans."
And I just wanted to say hello. Like, is it okay? And he's like, yeah, for sure, not a problem.
And he offered us pins.
Pins, and we got pins.
We got pins from the podcast. I've never met a celebrity.
The pin is really nice.
Shit from that.
It's a nice touch, yeah.
Apparently, that's how we have to be.
That's it. I don't want to.
But it was really cool too. We were walking down Main Street, just taking in the differences,
in the type of stores,
the minutia, yeah. And they have a magic store. That's something that they don't have in Walt Disney World. They literally have a store where you walk in, and it's something that I've never experienced before because I personally, as a kid, loved magic. I always wanted to be that person who could do tricks, who could like do the coin trick or whatever, do card tricks, anything. I wanted to do it all. I wanted to figure out all the secrets. And it killed me whenever I saw TV shows like R.L. Stein's Goosebumps, or any just media.
Any depiction of it.
And they would go into a magic store and like get stuff. I'd be like,
in Miami, there
where
was
is
no
that?
magic stores.
Never. And we walk into this place and it was surreal. It was like something out of a dream or out of a movie or something. And it was just all.
It was floor to ceiling of like tricks and how to do them and like all kinds of stuff.
It was so cool. Like literally, like the whole wall was just covered with like this particular card trick, and it was $20. And this particular coin trick, $20, and it was just
buy
like
this DVD, $20.
Yeah, and it was all just a lot of them were just like literally like paper, like telling you how to do it, and the value of that knowledge would just be that high.
Expensive.
It was crazy.
And we also went to the tiniest fucking pin traders store, and it was so claustrophobic, it made me not want to go in the store. But I really wanted to see the pins. I really wanted to see the special limited edition pins that they had available, and I felt so disappointed that as a Walt Disney World customer, we had no power in Disneyland. I felt really confused. I feel that I'm throwing it right out there. The Walt Disney World annual pass, 80 times more worth it than 1,000 times more worth it than the annual pass at Disneyland. You don't get the same amount of bang for your buck at all. I don't think so. As a local, like Walt Disney World, you can go to the water parks. You can go to like any of the 4 parks, like all the time, any time of the year, and then like Disneyland, you get 2 parks.
That's it. And now you don't even.
And you don't even get rewards.
Yeah, but we went and I finally charged everything. And I went over and I plugged it on. And it was beautiful because it was the perfect time of the day where it was like portrait shooting time. So all the smoke shots were super on point. It looked like a fucking ad for like Disney Abercrombie. Hard at Disney. I had basically the camera set up on the monorail.
It was like on a column, like a support column.
Yeah, for it.
It was like a little shelf.
And or just walking by and watching this one. Look out.
And I am recording, so.
What's up? Look at this. Get them.
I knew it.
Do you wanna the rest of this? And you get a snack.
I was thinking about popping pizza in the end.
Yeah,
Are you okay with that?
I guess.
What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Because we have burgers.
You decide. I don't want to decide.
I was
Do you think? So we went from there to go have, we smoked it up hard, and I was like, well, time to head to munchies. So we head over to, I forget the name of the restaurant. What was it called? What was the restaurant called that we were at?
No, it's the Mary Poppins one.
The Jolly Holiday Cafe or some shit.
Yeah.
And that was like the worst restaurant I've seen in my life.
Yeah, it was awful.
You walk in,
Chaos.
That's all I can say. That's all. Like, whereas, like, a lot of the Disney places, they're, like, quick service.
They're organized chaos.
It's organized chaos. There are, like, 4 different registers, so there are 4 different lines, and you just pick one, and that's it. And it's that simple. And this one, for some fucking reason, you walk in, immediately, everybody's grabbing, like, trays and, like, spoons and forks. And you're like, chaos, because everybody's just, it's free for all. If you grab too slow, somebody else comes and just starts grabbing and shit. And
it was terrible.
You start queuing up, and the queue, like the layout of the room, it's like, in the middle, there's just a salad booth in the middle of the fucking room.
Booth. Yeah.
Just in
like
the middle,
island.
like cemented there. It's not even like a cart that moves. No, this is a cemented place where there's like an employee like sitting in there, Subway style, buffet style, and the line wraps around that, and the line like cuts the whole room in half, so people are cutting through the line to just get out of the room and in out of the room.
Like think of a like a restaurant, like floor space, like a buffet space that is shaped like a donut. In the center of the donut, like people keep cutting it across, and the donut keeps getting cut in half, essentially, from just people being assholes. Like
it was just poorly laid out. and I was like, I
Need to get out of here.
need to get the fuck out of here. I don't like this food. I don't like this setting at all.
And that's why I said go, leave, please.
Yeah.
I need you to leave. Like, I need you to. Oh, this is home.
Well, yeah, it was home stuff. So I decided not to eat there, and we opted for, or
You opted for a corn dog.
I opted for a hand-dipped corn dog.
It was
These things
delicious.
look so sick, bro. We were walking through the park, and I saw like 5 or 10 people with them, and it's something that I've even seen people vlog about on YouTube, where it was like a good treat to have, and I was like, man, it looks so good. Like I've had corn dogs before. Like I get the ones from the store that they're like pre-made and shit, and those are like whatever. They're like spongy. They're not that great. These were like the ones you get like at a fair or something. Like they're hand dipped. Like it's like a nice like dough that's like you can tell that it's like freshly fried, and it's like thick. It was like
it was hard to like put your
like
mouth
half
around
an inch.
it.
I couldn't even put the whole thing in my mouth. It was such a thick
thick
dick.
cock.
I mean corn dog. That it wouldn't even fit. Crazy. It was so awesome. But they give it to you with a bag of chips. It would have been so perfect with fries. But they can't do it. The only way to make that place efficient is like giving you the corn dog and then just grabbing the bag of chips. Because that place was chaos. That thing was like pumping out corn dogs like a machine. But my corn dog was excellent. You had an excellent meal as well.
I had fried chicken with mashed potatoes, and it was spectacular. The fried chicken was really moist, really good, and just well made. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent meal. After our meal, we were like, I think we were done. I think we were kind of getting a little bit tired, a little bit exhausted.
Yeah.
And
Lots of walking.
we were like, man, it's only 6. So we went and I believe, went to Splash Mountain. We wanted to go to Splash Mountain before it got too dark. So we were going through Splash Mountain as it was. We first went to
Thunder.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion?
We went to Haunted Mansion, and we were like, oh, what's the time? Okay, we're going to get a fast pass. And we got a fast pass for Haunted Mansion. And we went from Haunted Mansion to Critter Country. We rode Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain was a lot of fun. It was a lot different from the Walt Disney World one. It was a lot older.
Let me do this.
Okay,
because
okay.
I'm the Splash Mountain guy. It's like Splash Mountain is one of my favorite rides, bro. I've ridden that shit since my childhood. I would walk through the queue as a kid, and I would skip people because the queue would be like an hour long, sometimes an hour and 30 minutes. Because back in the day, there weren't that many rides at Walt Disney World. Like when I was like fucking 7 or 8, like that was one of the fucking only good rides. So it would get this massive wait time, and I would just snake through the queue as a kid. Loved it. I sing the songs, everything. So I've ridden it many times. I like know the layout. I know like I'm one of those guys that I've ridden it so many times. I can tell what animatronics aren't turned on and what lights aren't turned on, and like just very very
What's
like
off?
minute things about it. Yeah, exactly. And immediately like the Disneyland one, you go out and it's just twice as long as like the Walt Disney World one, where they like don't give you any story. Like in the Walt Disney World one, you kind of go outside and you get this exterior view of like Walt Disney World. It's nice, you see stuff, and they take you alongside the outside of the mountain, and you're on a log, and you see a few things. Like they have like a few little like setups.
You see the mining area. You see like somebody's house.
couple
You see
little
like the little
things.
things.
And the Disneyland one, nothing. You're on the log, like nothing happens. Like you're just going and log, and then you finally get into the ride, and it feels like some editor went and like crudely chopped up like a bunch of the parts of the ride. Like it's just some condensed. I almost wanted to say director's cut, but it's like a condensed TV version almost of Splash Mountain. It was really weird. Just so many things. Like like I don't know, like there were a lot of dead areas, like a lot of weird like turns and stuff. Like it just I didn't appreciate it that much. But overall, it was nice. But the ride mechanism itself, archaic. Like you could tell, this thing needed to be updated. We were right on the like final drop to the one that like you stand outside and you see people and then they go into the water and it like
And it just
splashes.
yeah.
That shit. We were on the precipice. We were on the crest of that mountain there. And right before we come over the edge, I'm going to tell you why everybody's fucking screaming and like it sounds like they're about to die. It's not because people just do that. It's fun or it's white girls all the time riding it. No, it's literally because it's the fear of death being instilled in people right before they fall into this pit of water.
Like fall like 5 stories.
It's a 5-story fall, right? Which would be fine. It's a controlled fall. It's a fucking Disney ride, right? No. Right before the fall, you feel the log like drop. And it's like one of those things like you're seeing the tunnel. You're coming in. You're about to drop. You know the log is just going to tip over at some point. And rather than tipping over, you feel the log like sink a bit. And
it's
you
it
hear
dropping into the water.
You hear a loud metallic clunk. And you just then drop. Then you drop. No, fuck that. Like, why can't it be smooth, bro? Why can't I just come, drop? No, it has to be like, dunk, and then I drop. Like, no, bro, I don't need that shit. This isn't like fucking the fair or some shit, you know? Like, I don't know, fix that shit. That shit was bad. That was really bad. But Splash Mountain was interesting besides that scare. I could have lived without that. We have a picture from it. And we almost wanted to buy the picture because you could just see the fear in our eyes.
It was the first time like you could see genuine reaction from both of us.
Yeah, normally I don't react to shit. I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm a cucumber. But this, no. I was off my handle. But we left Splash Mountain.
They don't even put seatbelts on that thing. It's scary.
No, yeah, you're just in a log. And then they would distribute the weight by like kind of eyeing it out and stuff if there aren't enough people to fill out the log.
That's disgusting, wasn't it?
Yeah. But we left Splash Mountain and we hit up what?
Winnie the Pooh. And Winnie the Pooh was excellent.
Excellent.
I thought it was
wait at all. We just walked through.
Worth just walking through, enjoying it a little bit.
Really weird because again, like it was just everything with Disneyland is outside. All the queues outside. Even the rides themselves, they always begin outside. Like it's like the carts like go through some door and then they reveal themselves and then you get on it and you go in and then they go through some door and you're inside like the ride room. And that's how like a lot of them are. And I'm like, why does it have to be like this? Why do you take some fucking cues from Walt Disney World, put a roof over this, like fucking cover this, close
because
this.
yeah, it's like just because you don't get all this rain in Disneyland, why don't you give some people some coverage from the shade? Yeah, like that would be the best thing in the world.
Dude. Cali, bro.
Yeah. But we rode Winnie the Pooh, and I think
awesome.
we smoked again.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to the Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
And we rode the Haunted Mansion a second time with fast passes.
Yep.
And that was excellent. It was our final ride of the night. It was very well rounded, and it was enjoyable. I loved it. It was just like knowing where everything was gonna be, so that I knew where to look, so I can enjoy the item, and that was really nice.
But before we even got to Splash Mountain, we forgot to mention one thing. One thing that ticked both of us off. You more so than me. And it's the fact that it took us so long to get to Splash Mountain. You know, we finished eating our food, and the whole time we were eating our food, we kept hearing the announcements.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
God. Yeah.
in 15 minutes, Mickey and his imagination will be here to paint the night.
And we were like, oh shit. We better finish our food before this parade comes and get to where we're going. And we finished the food, and we didn't finish fast enough. The parade, like we expected. What happens in Walt Disney World is the parade starts, and it starts in the back of the park near Splash Mountain. And it takes probably 10-15 minutes for the parade to finally show up to the front of the park because it's just that big of a park.
So it's like when they have the parade time in Walt Disney World, it's a lull in all the rides, and all the rides have these like 5-minute wait lines because everybody else is watching the parade, because the parade takes that long that it affects everything else, and you can enjoy the rest of the park.
And everybody's watching the parade, you know? And here, that was not the case. In 5 minutes, the parade was already at the front of the fucking park. It was madness. We walked out, and it was just like, and fucking like lights, and there were these guys in like fucking like black suits where you can't see their faces, and they're just wearing like rave clothing. And I'm like, did I drop a tab and like take some ecstasy? Did I walk into the wrong party here? Like, you just see dudes like fucking and people are like freaking out, and it was chaos. And before this, we the whole day we'd seen people setting up for the parade.
So we saw people being douchebags, essentially, and taking blankets and laying them out on the floor
And
to claim spaces.
Exactly, just covering the floor along the road, along where the parade goes. And you would have to like step over their blankets as you walk along this already tight park. Because you don't want to be
an asshole and like step on somebody's stuff.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't need to open that argument.
So we had already seen like the setup of this. So the crowd was just impenetrable. It was massive, and we're trying to make our way around so that we can just simply
go to another part of the park.
We literally don't want to. We don't want to participate in this.
Please don't make us.
We don't care about this parade. I mean, I would love to see it, but I would love to also like have a spot that I don't have to like camp out 2 hours before to get. You know, like I'm good. I'm going to go ride some rides that are like really short wait times right now. And we go and we try to like get into Tomorrowland, and Tomorrowland was closed at 5 p.m. hours ago because of some like media event or some shit, or just like preparing.
They just needed to be closed
for Star Wars
hyper,
shit.
Spice, whatever.
They're transforming it for Star Wars Land. They're adding more Star Wars shit to it. I could see people carting in like more Darth Vader stuff and fucking stormtroopers. It was ridiculous. So we couldn't go into Tomorrowland, and that was the only way you could go around the park. Like we talked to the cast member and we were like, hey, you know,
we want to go here.
We know we can't go in there to Tomorrowland. How do we get around the parade? And they go, you're just gonna have to wait for the parade to end and then go. Yeah. And I was like,
thanks for not answering my question.
Thank you for nothing at all. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And it's disgusting because in Walt Disney World, the way that the park is designed, there is no way that this would happen. You know, I could literally just walk all the way around and I could get around the parade. You know, I don't necessarily have to get caught in this like chokehold.
Literally, they cut the park in half.
It's literally, yeah, the park is cut in half and you just can't get around it. It's disgusting. It was
really sad and upsetting, and we should have had lunch at another part of the park.
But so we literally had to sit sardined in a crowd, standing, and not even see the parade. Yeah, forced to watch the parade that we couldn't see because there were so many people in front of us with fucking kids on their shoulders and shit.
Yeah, parents that don't give a fuck.
It was fucking that was something that I was like, man, fuck
parades.
Fuck Disneyland, fuck their organization.
I have never been a fan of parades. I'll be really honest. I don't think they're really that worth it.
Or just like control it or something.
Walt Disney World, I think, handles it far better. Yeah. But yeah, I totally blanked that out because I hate it. That was awful.
We just completely skipped over, and I was like, we gotta mention it.
Yeah, it was so poorly handled, and they just like try to squeeze us in part of like the experience. It was awful.
But yeah, man, that was basically Disneyland. We wrapped up the day after the Haunted Mansion. We rolled out and we ordered the Uber. And the Uber guy picked us up right outside of the park, and we got back to the B&B and drove home. That was it. Well, I took a bunch of bong hits, and then I was ready.
Yeah.
I had to prepare myself for that long drive.
And it's like, I've seen all the parades. I personally think, one of those things, I can't say Florida beats California. It's a very hard, difficult thing. I could dedicate a whole podcast to like my opinion about that. But in terms of parades, I think it's much more worth it. Like how I feel about sports, I don't think it's worth going to. I mean, I get it why people go to concerts, but I'd rather for a sports event watch the sports event at home on TV, because I know that on TV they will like show multiple viewpoints. They'll show like the up-to-date super close shots.
Well, no. I'm gonna have to disagree with this, because I have seen many different perspectives of the Paint the Night parade, and it does not do it justice actually viscerally experiencing it in person. Actually being there and seeing like these crazy lights and like how they flash and flicker, and like the change in space, it just isn't conveyed properly. You know, until we get like VR headsets and see it like that, maybe I can say I don't necessarily need to be there. But I could definitely see why people would want to like be there. You know, like there's something about being in the space, like hearing it like there, like all like fully, like I don't know, the immersiveness of the parade. But still,
I don't know.
fuck parades.
I just, it's very hard because it's so hard to get this pure visceral experience when I have somebody hitting me from the side. I have a dad that's holding up their kid next to me and stuff like that. And I don't want to waste 5 hours of my day waiting in line for a fucking like a parade that's only gonna last less than 10 minutes. Because it takes less than 10 minutes for it to walk through the whole park.
Yeah, that's the only thing about it. That aspect.
It's really hard. That's like when I go to a sports game, at least I can go to a sports game. I can
You're
get some
guaranteed a
food.
spot.
I'm guaranteed a spot. I can chill out, not worry
So
about
you're the
it.
type of person that doesn't go to a concert for a mosh pit. You prefer to get seats and just have like front row seats.
Yes, absolutely.
That like.
Like I went to like my favorite favorite band in the whole world, and I went to their concert, and I went there and I was there like the concert was, it started at like 9 p.m. or something, like, or like it started like I think maybe like it started at like 8 p.m. or something, and it went all the way until 1 a.m. and I got there at like 5 in the afternoon or something, because we had left like right after like school, and I was in high school, and he picked me up, and we drove with one of my friends, and I was like in the front of the row, and I was like at the very front of the stage. I was standing like right at the feet of like the main singer, because I had watched the concert so many times on YouTube that I knew where everybody stood on stage every time, and I was so ready. I was so there, right up front. And behind me, I had known that another one of my friends that had come from another side of the state, she was in the mosh pit dancing, and she was like, "Oh, Rebecca, I didn't even see you." And I was like, "I was in the front of the mosh pit. I didn't see you behind me. I wasn't going to look behind me. I didn't care. Like, you're not my, like, I'm not interested in you." And she's like, "Don't worry about it. Like, I get it completely." But it was just one of those things where it was like, I'm more engaged
focus was
right on
elsewhere.
that. Like, yeah. And I don't like that with parades. But whatever. Not a big deal. We got some photos.
I just wanted to see if there was anything. Yeah, just products and stuff. But yeah, man, it was a great trip overall.
It was wonderful.
You know, as much shit as we talk, it's just us acknowledging that Walt Disney World truly was better, and that this is a different experience. But I still can say that Walt Disney World is better, you know, in many ways. Like, it's great. It's intimate. Like Disneyland is intimate. Disneyland incorporates foliage more, so you have this like more sense of like walking through like a park
An
or
immersion.
something. Yeah, it's nice. But at the same time, all of that foliage like breaks up the space and makes something even more claustrophobic.
It makes it really claustrophobic. One of the problems that I had was that I never knew what area I was in. So between Tomorrowland and the Fantasyland, where the bobsleds were and the Matterhorn and stuff like that, it was very difficult to tell where you were. And so you would have to like go around a corner and have to walk this long distance in order to figure out, okay, I'm at the end of this queue. Okay, now I'm finally here, kind of thing. And it was just very awkward.
Yeah. Very.
And I really enjoyed a lot of the rides in the organization of Disneyland, but at the same time, I felt like there was a lot more seating space. I like that, like I was able to find a lot more benches, a lot more like relaxation area.
It's interesting. I see that a lot in the videos I watch too. Like people are always sitting in like a cafe or something, and it's always empty. Like I don't know why like people just don't sit down to eat at Disneyland. And it's probably because they're locals
And they don't eat.
They just bring their own food. Because I saw that a lot. I saw people breaking
Bringing
out the Tupperware
Subway.
in lines or bringing in food, yeah, from outside. Literally,
I saw a lot of people.
There's a fucking McDonald's right across the street. I could walk out of the park, go get McDonald's, walk back in, and like not spend like you saw like it was $10.99 for a chicken
sandwich and
with
fries.
I could get the same thing at McDonald's for half the price, if not less. Yeah.
And still just as good.
Just as good.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. It was an interesting experience. I would definitely do it again because I would love to see Space Mountain, Alice in Wonderland. We didn't get to see Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. We didn't get to do Pirates of the Caribbean. I really want to see. Apparently, Disneyland's Pirates of the Caribbean has a different layout than ours.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking like what else what else didn't we do that you would want to do? I would want to
DCA?
see the Paint the Night parade like
In a nice location.
in a good spot and
You know where
record
we would
it.
have to go? We would have to go to
It's a
the
Small World
the
area?
train station. Watch it from the train station.
Maybe we'll see something.
Yeah.
And DCA, obviously, we didn't even do DCA, and that would be
We didn't
nice.
even see
Like,
Downtown Disney.
do half a day and do half a day there. And Downtown Disney, yeah, we said we were gonna go do dinner there, and we
Didn't do it.
just
We
stayed
were
in
so
and smoked.
tired. Yeah, we were exhausted from driving, so that sucked. But I wouldn't move anywhere south of San Francisco.
Let me break down California for you in like my knowledge in the time that I've been here for like a few months. San Diego is like a decent town, but it's
Nobody's there.
But nobody's there, and like it's fucking kind of ghetto, and kind of cheap. You got LA, and LA is huge. You got South LA, and South LA is like fucking. It's super fucking ghetto apparently.
You have Carson, shit like that. Like
You have many like it's like when I say LA, it's hard to say. You know, I have to be
downtown
like,
LA.
what do you mean LA? Do you mean Burbank? Do you mean this? Do you mean that? You know, do you mean SFV? Because you can mean the Valley, and the Valley is not even LA, but people still think of it as LA. You know, so it's a very broad thing, and there's just so much to LA. You know, there's Hollywood. You can go and you can see movie stars and shit. Or you can go where the movies are literally made. Or you can go to Malibu and you can just go to the beach. And it's like Miami Beach if you've ever been there. Or any
Yeah.
other beach city, I suppose. It's like
Santa Monica.
high end. So yeah, Santa Monica, fucking... what else? If you go to San Fran... It's a little high, like somebody described it earlier. They're like, you know, it's kind of higher end, but there are a lot of homeless people here because it's so good. You know, it attracts the homeless, and there's like a
They
lot
have
of
good weather.
well, there's a lot of good homeless laws or something, and that's one of the reasons that
They
contributes
take
to
care
it.
of like homeless people really
Yeah.
well or something
It's,
like that.
the mentally ill and
I
stuff.
think they were given like a bunch of people from like Utah or something recently.
That was so
or, like,
fucked
Nevada.
up. Yeah, they dumped like a bunch of people who were in like a mental institution in like a particular state, and they were looking into the institution, and they're like, what the fuck, why did you just drop these people off in San Francisco? Like, you didn't like tell them anything, you didn't like set them up with housing or anything, you just dropped these people off and just like told them to just
Good
find
luck.
their way. Yeah, like San Francisco loves you. So that's San Fran. It has bridges. Full House was filmed there, and fucking San Fran actually. If you want a breakdown of like medical marijuana laws, L.A. you can go to dispensaries here, but a lot of the cities and the counties they ban dispensaries, so you only have delivery services. And then you go up to San Francisco, and San Francisco allows dispensaries, and they also allow for vapor lounges. So that you can go and you can actually buy weed on premises and actually consume it in another space. Or bring your own weed and consume it. It's very nice, very progressive.
Cool. I like that a lot.
And then and then NorCal. There's just NorCal, and you can go up there and it's like
Live in the wilderness.
It's basically like, yeah, like you're in places where you get acreages of land, and you live in like rural like houses and shit, and it's more like kind of like Colorado, where you know you have like a lot of like they get really high temperatures over there and really low temperatures because they're so high in the mountains. So they'll get like over 100 degrees in like temperature in the hot, and then they'll like drop down and it'll like
Be
get
40.
and it'll start snowing and shit, and it's like holy fucking shit, dude. But they grow massive amounts of cannabis over there. The laws for cannabis growing are way less restrictive, particularly in the Emerald Triangle. You can grow up to like 99 plants. That is the limitation. So people will grow 99 giant bushes of cannabis. That would be the place to go if you want to deal with pounds. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll grow giant pounds and they'll run them down to South Cali, and people's jobs will literally be to transport the weed from NorCal to South Cal. And it's just a crazy job. You're just shipping like hundreds of pounds of weed. Well, not hundreds, maybe like 50, 75 pounds, maybe hundreds of pounds. Who knows? If you got some trim or something. But yeah, man, NorCal. That's fucking NorCal. It just depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live, what kind of industry you want to work in. Obviously, if you want to work in some type of media industry, like you're an artist, you're an actress, you're a producer, video editor, you want to be in LA or maybe even San Fran. And if you do anything techie, you want to be in San Fran. You want to be in Silicon Valley. Or if you're going to be just doing you want to get a green thumb and start farming, man, just go up to NorCal, apprentice for some cannabis farmer, and help them, tend to their plants, help them grow their plants, help them clone them, fucking pollinate them, get them to seed, all that shit. Shout out to Sacramento. You can also go to fucking Oaksterdam. That's in like San Francisco. They have a cannabis college there. You can literally take courses on learning how to grow, learning about cannabis politics, all kinds of shit, all kinds of cool stuff, man. Oh yeah, fucking let's talk about like weather shit. SoCal, bro. You're gonna come to SoCal and you're in a desert. It's literally a fucking desert out here. It's like in the morning it's super cold, and then it gets super hot during like noon, and then it drops super cold again at night. And it's literally like you're in a desert. There's no life. Everything is like brown, and all the trees that are green, it's because people water them and put like crazy fertilizers on them. And we live in like nicer neighborhoods, because if you go anywhere else, there's no trees, no life.
No life
it's all
whatsoever.
devoid. It's anything
It's
life
all like
is man-made.
small shrubbery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's like shit like foxes out here. I've literally seen coyotes. Like we were driving one day.
It was walking in the middle of the road.
It looked like
an alien or something. I freaked out.
I was like, is that a dog? What is that? It turned its head, and the shape of its head
was so
looked
foreign.
Alien. It scared the shit out of me. You get that kind of shit over here.
And it's like, okay, wait a minute. We're in the land of fucking aliens too, so it freaks you out.
Yeah. No. Yeah, we're high on a mountain. We're closer to them, if anything.
Sydney, I don't think you understand. I grew up in the tropics. I literally grew up like in the Amazon, in like Ecuador, where it's like jungle and
Green.
lush green and rain. And in Miami, it's just rain all the time. And they're like, if it's raining, wait 5 minutes and it'll be over. And then in another 10 minutes, it'll be raining again. And it was just always damp and lush and beautiful and green. And there was just moisture in the air and it made you sweat like an asshole and it sucked. And I hated it. And I hate the weather in Miami. But the rain was so beautiful and it brought such life to the world and like to the environment and all the plants and stuff. And
It never rains here.
it never rains here.
When it rains here, it drizzles, and people are like, "Oh my God, it's raining! Oh my God, look outside, it's raining!" And I look outside, and I see like drip, drip,
Yeah.
like nothing. It's bananas, bro. Like if they ever saw the kind of rain that we saw in Miami on like a regular basis, the kind of torrential downpour, the kind of stuff that just like doesn't stop and floods your driveway if you're not like on an elevated like surface. People would die. People literally do die. Like in California, when it rains, people don't know how to drive, and they drive right off of the mountainsides. It's chaos. So there's that. I've never been in a place before where like fucking well, I'm just getting into like differences in living now, but literally like it's crazy. Like you're driving down the road and you look, and like if you make a left turn, you're turning not only left, but you're turning like up like 45-degree like angle. And I'm like, how does my car even do this?
And then it becomes like 30 degrees and then it goes up another like 70.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's terrible.
So move to NorCal is what I'm saying.
And get a concrete house that like is made for earthquakes. Don't live in a wood house.
If you live in LA, you also have to consider that you have an excellent availability to the proximity of a lot of other states. We're like 3 hours away from Las Vegas. You know, so if you are one of those people that are very business minded and you like to go to a lot of trade shows, this is an excellent place to plant yourself because it's very accessible to just drive over and drive back at the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
But that's it, you guys. We're going to get to our pizza. I'm going to maybe take another dab. And I appreciate you guys tuning in for the Disney cast, man. I equate it to like that kind of thing that you would see in the movies or TV shows where people would sit down and they would force people to sit on the couch and they would put the projector on or whatever and they would be like, Chick. So this was us in Cancun in 2009. You know, this was really funny. Let me tell you this funny story about this. Okay, the bartender served me an apple martini instead of a pear one. How about that?
I have to like mention this because Sydney mentions this. My car, I love my car. I've taken such good care of my car in Miami, and I would like love my car. Anytime something was wrong with my car, I would take care of my car. We come here to California, the first thing we thought was like, oh, we're gonna have to change the oil type that we had from Miami to like California because of the new level of humidity that we were going to be experiencing and the viscosity of the oil and stuff like that. And the fucking terrain of this fucking world in California was horrific on my car. It was so brutal on my car the first like 2 months on my car that my car could not handle it. My car is a 2008 SUV. It was an excellent Ford car. It was awesome. I got it pre-used. It was a spotless car from 2008 all the way until 2015. It was spectacular. And it came here and it was like a little bitch. It couldn't drive up any hills. It was like, what is this? Miami is flat. Miami is built on this kind of sheetrock that is underneath our like main like terra firma, and it's called limestone, and it's just flat rock that is at sea level, and we're flatter than the water of the ocean. It's awful. And
there's never anything in Miami that you'd be like, oh
except
man,
for I-95.
I need to put my e-brake on because like my car might like roll down this hill or something. Never. Like there's never a time when you're driving and like you like maybe there'll be a time when you drive and like you feel that feeling where you go woo because the car kind of goes over like a little hill or something. That's it. That's all you would get in Miami. Here, like I said, you go down the street, you make a left, you're going up a 45-degree angle. Yeah. You know, you're driving on the turnpike, you literally see a sign where it says
dip.
Winding around cliffside, and then you're like, okay, that's cool. And then you see another sign, and it's like, for the next 20 miles, wind gusts,
40
beware.
miles per hour, beware.
Yeah, and you're like, what? And you're literally driving on the side of a cliff, and there's wind, and you feel it like...
Your car being shoved. And you can see all the cars around you also collectively move slightly in their lane. And that's why the lanes are so wide. Because people literally have their cars pushed by the wind.
Like, you're like, are they drunk? And you're like, no, like, this is literally happening to me, too. I'm like, my car's getting, like, pulled from, like, one side to another because it's just, that's how strong the fucking wind is. It's bananas. Like, it hurt, like, and then, like, not only that, like, that all is happening, and then you're also going up, like, a fucking 45-degree angle.
The
and
entire time.
Your foot is, like, down on the accelerator all the way, and the car is probably, like, 6,000... like 6.5, 7,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Pushing to like pull up that hill and meet that 60 mile per hour speed limit. It's killer on cars. I see cars older than yours, and I see cars like less powerful, and I'm like, how do you do this?
They have to modify their engines or something. But not only that, but I also see people that they have like California is riddled with like creviced like driveways and like roadways and stuff because of all of the earthquakes and like just the roads shifting from the earth shaking and shifting. And what ends up happening is like it's full of dips and crevices, and the car's just constantly bumping, and you're constantly moving, and you're constantly like doing this.
It's gotten to the point where
we're numb to
it.
Yeah, like we have to be numb to it, because if you focus on it, I almost killed myself like the first week. Because I was so frustrated because I felt like I was hurting my car.
Well, I thought that there was something wrong with the suspension or something, and then I realized it's literally just the road.
The road is just that bad.
Poorly paved.
Yeah, awful. Like, I thought in Miami we had bad problems with, like, potholes because of, like, how thin our crust is over there. Mm-hmm. But no, it was awful here. It's awful.
It's crazy.
The driving. And people have these drop cars, and they're driving over this, like almost flush to the floor, driving over these, like, dips and crevices and stuff. And I see people coming out of parking lots, and they have to go down and at an angle and, like, try to level out. And it's comedic. Yeah. And it's sad.
Well, there's so many places where you're driving and you're driving like up a hill and you can't see on the other side of the hill, and you have to make a left turn, and you're coming up on the, like, literally your left turn is at the peak of the hill. Mm-hmm. That is where the intersection is, the peak of the hill. And mind you, there's also a railroad track like at the top of the hill, right before your left turn. Yeah. You know, there's so much crazy shit in LA. It's so different. But and everybody parks on the sidewalk. We could do a whole podcast on that. Yeah. But it's way different here. You need like a really nice car. You need a strong car. Anywhere, or you need a strong heart and legs to like bike everywhere. Because I don't even know how people do that shit here. Or you just need to place yourself really well. You know, if you just don't live in the mountains. Yeah, like put yourself like right in like the heart of downtown LA, like right next to your job, like where you need to be, and put yourself like a couple blocks away. And there are some buses, there are some transportation systems that you could use if you're more than a few blocks away. It's not that bad. But yeah. I don't know, man. Like in Miami, it was so easy to take transportation. It was so approachable. It was so nice. Man, honestly, driving in Canada, bruh, like Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, like Falcon Lake, that shit's so fucking scary. That shit is not fun at all.
It's terrifying. Like icy roads, like that fucking black
Well,
ice shit.
Yeah, we're gonna get that shit. At
We're
some
gonna get
point.
that shit in our fucking like mountains.
Yeah, man.
And I'm so terrified of it. I don't want this to happen
It's
to me.
gonna be fucking.
We've already started to have to heat up our car when we turn it on in the
Don't
morning.
worry, baby. I have.
Oh my
I
God.
have in my wallet.
I have
initial
initial D cards, and
they
they're from
show
the snowy Japanese roads.
very clearly that I have completed each course in the initial D game, and
Including snow courses.
including the Bunta Challenge. So I'm good. I've driven on Akina. I've driven on many different mountains, forwards, upwards, downhill, snowy, night. Every different version of it. I've driven many different cars. We'll be fine. I've drifted it.
No, honestly, it was so intense. Like driving through all of that, and driving from like Duluth into Canada. But yeah, like it was just so intense. Like I remember the first time I was stopping at an intersection, and exactly what he just said. Like you stop and you keep going a little bit more and stuff like that. And that's so scary. I remember my mom freaked out, and she almost caused the car to like dip and tip. And people have to be so patient, so very patient, especially at the mall. Yeah. Keep kitty litter in my trunk. Yeah, I should keep kitty litter in my trunk. Or no, there was actually, it was funny, somebody mentioned to me once, it was just easier to like buy sand at Home Depot or something, and it was just like easier for your car, and it was like less expensive, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. And yes, no, I know we have to have like our coats, like extra coats in the car, and to have you're not supposed to store water in the car, but to have like food and stuff and like a flashlight. Yeah, I know all that stuff for sure. Thank you. And it's important for other people to know that too. And like we have like an emergency kit in the house. We don't have candles. We should have candles just in case like lights go out ever.
It's important to know that you can drink your own piss about 3 times before you start losing any nutritional value in it. It's important to know that you shouldn't ever eat your feces.
Water?
Because it's never a good idea.
It dehydrates you more.
Right. That for that reason. Not for the fact that it tastes like shit. Yeah, man. Always keep a flashlight in your butt. You never know when you might need it.
Oy. But are we gonna take a hit? Ooh, we're gonna take a hit. Do you want to talk a little bit more about Disney? We used to be Walt Disney World pass holders. We used to go approximately every other month to Walt Disney World. So actually we went last July, we went September. I went in November with my family, and we went in October, and then thank you. And then in December, when I went with Oscar, we got our annual passes, and we got them December 10th, I think, December 10th, and we went in January, right before I went back to classes, and in January we did like I drove in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. to make sure that we made it by like 7 o'clock in the morning at Walt Disney World for the park opening and everything, and have breakfast. And I was like cracked out, and we did like a 24-hour thing, and I had to be at school the next day. It was horrific. It was crazy. I was so crazed. We went again for what is it called, for Valentine's Day. And we had a wonderful Valentine's Day at Walt Disney World. And then we skipped March, and we went again in April for my birthday. And then we went for my birthday, and we went for the Flower and Garden Festival, which was spectacular. And then, so that was April. And then we went again in May, which was like our last trip to we went to the 24-hour Disney event. And the 24-hour Disney event was right after graduation. And so we went to that, and that was like May 21st, I think, or 22nd, something like that. And that was crazy. It was awesome, the 24-hour event. I thought it was awesome. And after the 24-hour event, was that our last trip to Walt Disney World, or was it the second to last?
I don't know the order.
Oh. But we went a lot of times. We definitely made complete worth out of the annual passes. Absolutely. Like, we couldn't afford to stay like a full like week at Walt Disney World, but even just staying one day was enough that it was like really worth the payment and everything like that. And with all the discounts that you got and all these things, Disneyland, like Walt Disney World, you get an annual pass for Walt Disney World, and you can get two things. You can get it with the like super expensive golf course like annual pass, which is like it's everything plus like a golf course passport along with passes for the water park. So you have two water parks that each park, I personally believe that you can spend the whole day at both Typhoon Lagoon and a whole day at Blizzard Beach, because they're that engaging and that much fun as water parks independently. And you have access to both of those. You have access to Epcot, full day park, full food. And not only that, but when it's Food and Wine Festival, you have a free pass to the Food and Wine Festival and a free pass to the Flower and Garden Festival. It's all included. You also get to go to Animal Kingdom. You also get to go to Hollywood Studios and the Magic Kingdom. You get to go to all of these things with the annual pass at the Walt Disney World. And for a little bit more than the same price, you only get 2 passes to Disneyland. And you only get to go to Disneyland and DCA. And honestly, it's frustrating because it's such a small park, and I feel like I'm not allowed to enjoy parts of the park the entire time. Like, when we went to Disneyland, we were like, oh yeah, Tomorrowland's going to close at 5, Toontown's going to close at 8:30, and the park closes at 10. Whereas in Walt Disney World, you can stay until 2 a.m. on most days in the park. Like, most of the times it's midnight, and if you're lucky, you can stay until 2. And that's you, like, saying to the cast members, like, is it okay if I just, like, stay here and I walk slowly to the entrance of the park? Oscar.
Sorry.
Yeah. And so I just felt like there was just not as many opportunities where we could I don't think you get the bang for your buck. And I don't think that, like, it was such a hassle for us to go that I think in Walt Disney World it's much better. You're given the keys to the kingdom in Walt Disney World, whereas Disneyland, they're trying to not even let you come in the park. They're like, I get it, you have an annual pass, but guess what? You don't spend enough money here, so we really don't even want to let you have this annual pass. And it's ridiculous. So, yeah. I don't know. Oh, McCoy.
It was a big M.
I understand. You can have Duffy.
Are you ready for dinner?
You can have dinner. But it was just something that it's very difficult to ration out price-wise, going Walt Disney World versus Disneyland. And that was really hard for me. Because I like Disneyland. I like it a lot, and I want to go and really absorb it. But at the same time, oh, it's so hard.
It's not worth the value.
Yeah, like, we were picking up our package that we had purchased, like, all of our stuff in the beginning. And what ended up happening was, I was like, oh, you know what you're basically doing? You're basically buying a coupon, like a discounted park ticket once a month with the all access annual pass. So that means that you're basically buying 12 tickets. And so with those 12 tickets, you have full access to a full month, which is about 30 days. So it's not that horrible. You know, it's like not that bad, but it's still, that's a lot. That's a lot of money for what it is. And I don't know. But I don't know. I was disappointed. I feel like all the restaurants closed really early. Like the Tomorrowland Plaza, what was it called? Like the Terrace? Terrace.
Well, that one closed because Tomorrowland closed at 5. And we went at like 5:30.
Crazy.
Yep. Fucking... Yeah.
And there's part of me that's like, are we going to become Universal people or something? Because Universal's annual pass is like a lot more affordable. You know? But you don't have Islands of Adventure here, right? It's only just Universal Studios. But it's just so much more different things.
And they're still building Harry Potter Land here.
And they're still building Harry Potter Land here, and they just built the Simpsons ride here. And they're building the Nintendo World here, aren't they? Remember they're building like a Nintendo Land? That's pretty cool. So I think we're going to close out this podcast at like 3 hours.
Time flies. We
I'm
talk
so
about
hungry.
Disney. We'll see you guys tomorrow maybe.
Podcast.
Got news to talk about.
News. Lots of news.
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 But appreciate everybody tuning in. This was an impromptu podcast. I mean, we do podcasts on Saturdays, but we tend to do them earlier, and people still showing up. Sydney, Megan,
Like we post,
Yellow
like
Dog.
we had posted it on YouTube, and people had already like shown up before we even could like launch our
Advertise it.
program. Like before we could even advertise it on Tumblr or anything. So it was pretty cool.
Bananas.
You guys are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Really appreciate everybody who came, everybody who stayed. It was Dev Blazed and like Elijah and Sydney and Megan has been here. Yellow Dog's been here.
A lot of people had to go to bed.
A lot of people were tired. Yeah.
But I will see you guys next time. And always keep an eye out for the Disney video, man. I'm going to produce it.
Have some nice edits.
Hopefully soon, yeah. I can easily tell we got a lot of footage, as you could see. So it's probably going to be maybe three videos of just Disneyland footage. And then I also have
Smoking.
2 sessions videos. So it may be like a 5-part series. We'll see.
Yay.
It'll be nice. But thank you guys again for participating. I'll see you guys tomorrow maybe. And keep an eye out for more videos. Lots of new videos coming at you guys and lots of new shit. Take care. Fucking good night.
Good night. Have a super
So
stony
long.
Sunday.
To you, my friends.